So guys, we're live guys. So we're gonna discuss about the UCL post-match reaction for the Real Madrid Atlanta and the Mochenglabash versus Manchester City. So we're gonna talk about the post-match reaction and also we'll talk a little bit about the preview about the EPL coming up and also we'll discuss a little bit about the transfer rumor coming up also too. So let me come to Vilton now. So give me your update about the post-match reaction of the match. Towards the match. Were you impressed when Madrid was like the game is over, or do you think it's not over yet?
Oh no, the run is definitely not over yet. That's why I'm not celebrating yet. We can never celebrate. I never celebrate the first leg. I never do. I always wait to the second leg. But no, the game is definitely not over. That was. I apologize for anybody that was watching that football game. You were probably expecting a quality game, but that was probably the worst knockout stage game I've ever seen in the round of 16 so far in the last 3 to 4 years so far. Even Atletico Madrid never played a game this boring before, bro. This game was so trash. This game was just all about who can control the midfield and who can defend the best. Because every time we got into the final third with two flex, we didn't know what to do, bro. Like
And
we really didn't know.
Casemiro was lucky today. It should have been
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
good to
yeah.
be
He
lucky
almost got a.
against
He
that
almost got a. He almost got a
red
second
card.
yellow card. I wonder if he was on a. If he was on a not on your yellow card, I wonder if the referee would have given him a red card.
Hmm. Wow.
But my overall thought of the game, good win for the amount of the injuries that we have. I'm happy with the away goals. The second let's get definitely gonna be interesting because the past few years we've been kind of weak at home. So hopefully this changes. We not like we play better at home, especially Benzema's gonna be there. Hopefully Ramos is there. Carvajal, I hope he's fit for that game. But yeah,
Mhm.
good win for us. Good win for Madrid.
SK, your thought on the match? The match for me, it was a boring match. I don't even know what to say about the match. I don't even know how to analyze the match. It was just boring. Way
Honestly,
too boring.
I think that the ref killed the match with that red card. 'Cause I think the match was decent.
It
Up
was
until
balanced. It was balanced.
yeah, it was honestly. Atalanta were actually trying out to attack before like the red card happened. But it was really funny because I made the joke on Twitter. The gap in their defense when Vinicius ran was so huge.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that. So that that shows you that they were trying to score. They were really trying to score a goal. And I think that after the red card they played more conservative. I think that also that they played okay Atalanta for like about 10 minutes after the red card, and then but as soon as like the Madrid started to put more pressure on them, they kind of just gave up on scoring, and you could see that in the game, and the game was
Mm-hmm.
just garbage after that, pretty much.
So for you, it was like just a boring match for you.
Yeah, I have potential. Like it started off okay. It started off like the match would build on that and get better, and then after red card, it just killed off any excitement.
MK Dos, your thought on the Madrid match? How boring was the match? How boring? You there? Oh, can you hear me?
And also,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but is it me or we were playing better when they were when they had 11 men on the pitch? It looks like we would have scored more if they're at 11 men instead of 10 men down. I get it. When you 10 men down, it was they turned into a defensive ship. You don't blame them. They were playing like
Mm-hmm.
five. At one point, I saw six player playing like at the back. I don't blame them, but still,
Mm-hmm.
10 men down. Real Madrid can break down Atalanta. Obviously, they good defensively, but to be fair, Atalanta hasn't been good at home in the Champions League. They always
Yeah.
win the away. They always win the away leg. But
Yeah.
I see Zapata is hurt and Ilicic came off. Even though he came on the game, he got injured. So I don't know if he's gonna be fit. The second leg won't be for a while, so he might be fit. But if he's not fit, that's a very very bad
But
miss for
Vilton,
Atalanta.
Casemiro, how important was it? It's a
Casemiro is
bad miss.
important, but
Bad miss.
If Valverde is back, I'll be okay. If Valverde and Ramos is back, I'll be okay. I'll be okay with Casemiro just missing that leg. But Malo didn't have any. If this team go against a Bayern or PSG, mm, 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 mm.
I,
You
I, want,
getting
I,
you
want,
getting inducted into Class A.
I want you
If
to know
that
that
happens,
any competent goalkeeper is saving that shot. By the way,
you mean the Mendes,
yeah,
Mendy?
the shot wasn't even curving all the way to the corner. So I don't know how that goal was saved.
Do you think so? You think a good goalkeeper will save that?
I don't even think. Yeah, like I don't think because the shot wasn't like towards the corner, and it wasn't even like too far towards the side. So I don't know what the goalie was doing on that. In my
It's a little bit tricky because the kind of way Mendy played the ball. I wouldn't judge. Do I say is a bad miss interception of the goalkeeper, or whether Mendy was just too good? How should I put it? Because if I look at the way he plays, ah, do I really blame the goalkeeper? Maybe a bit. Maybe he moves too close. Maybe he moves too slow, or not really in a section where you could kind of save the ball. I can understand. I don't think the tie is over yet because if Atalanta scored the second leg, oh.
no, the tie is definitely not over. Atalanta they didn't even start Illich, and Zapata went off injured after like
Mm-hmm.
so they were definitely hampered too. And obviously with the rest, they just compounded it. So I think the second leg should be way, way, way more interesting.
Way more interesting. Yeah. So yes, Said, your prediction was 4-2. What happened?
I mean, I was like, so wild. After they scored the second goal, I just turned the game off. I had both games on. I just turned it off. To be honest, City didn't even play that well. To be honest, City didn't even play well at all, and they won 2-0. Gladbach was just that bad. They did well defensively, but they were just bricks going forward, man. They couldn't put two passes together. It was crazy, man. I didn't expect that at all. That being said, Zakaria had a very good game though. He
Mm.
he was one of those players I shined through in that game, and he looks like. But I just feel like this. I feel bad for Gladbach because ever since the announcement that their manager was going to Dortmund, they haven't been. I think they haven't won a game. So so yeah, man. What can I say? The City, the game could have easily been 0-0. They could have easily gotten a goal if they could have if the manager would have changed something, but they just Gladbach was bad, man. They was just bad. I think if you guys think Atletico Madrid was bad yesterday, this is worse. This is worse. This is at least Atletico Madrid actually, got to the the final third. They actually forgot to the final third. Gladbach couldn't even reach the final third, and the one time they did, the few times they did, they almost they had chances, but other than that, it was bad, man. Because this city was bad. City was very poor. I watched the game. They were very poor. They were missing easy chances. Gabriel Jesus scored a goal, but he was class A brick. He was brick today. It was so bad today. There was a moment where this guy he was through on goal and he was just looking around for a pass, and then Pep Guardiola got mad. He was like, "Shoot! What are you doing?" And then so it's
I heard Pep Guardiola was pissed off. He was really
yeah,
pissed off.
yeah, because he was on through on goal, and he was just looking around to pass the ball, and he could have shot the ball. So it's yeah, man. What can I say? It's but to be honest, what I'm beginning to believe that the idea of making this Champions League tie one leg, and I mean two legs, I think that was a wrong idea. I feel like that it would have been better if they would have made it one tie. It would have been more entertaining, and it would have opened things up, and we probably would have seen now. I mean, a lot of the games, the second leg is already decided. Manchester City already went through. I mean, you look at Bayern already went through. Like today against Atlanta versus Real Madrid, I don't see Atlanta. going through. I see. I only see.
Somebody said they want.
Bro,
They may said they want an apology.
for what?
With Seti Said.
Bro, City hasn't even gone through yet. So what if City lose in the second leg?
I mean, City played this bad, and they scored two late goals. I
But
don't.
guys, I have a question about this Man City team. How
They,
good is the Man City team entirely? How good are they really? How good?
to be honest with you, I think Manchester City are slightly overrated just because they so dominant in the Prem. So I'm guessing they're looking at the Prem form, which is understandable when a team is on a 18. Wait, they're so they this is what
19,
19 now, right?
19 games already.
Oh God, they're
The
gonna
last,
break.
the last
They're
time,
gonna break our record, bro. They're gonna break.
the last date that they've not won a game was December 13th.
Bro, they're gonna break our record of 22
No time.
games, bro.
Got to be March.
Well, can one of you guys just draw with them? I just need a draw. I don't need you to beat them. Just get a draw against them. That's it, bro.
Just,
Are
I
you
mean,
kidding me, bro? They're about to break the 2014, the 2015 Real Madrid record, bro.
but here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
How good is this Man City team entirely? How good is it?
Like I said, I have to see more in the Champions League
But for
because
me,
they might
okay,
be
guys,
dominant in the Prem, but if you don't show it in the Champions League, I really don't care if you stat pad in the Prem or FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Because at the end of the day, I'm a Champions League merchant, bro. So
guys, let's
show
be
me your
honest.
love in
No
the
time.
Champions
Let's
League.
be honest though. There's Gladbach in Manchester City game. If this was Bayern Munich, this would have been 5-6.
Yeah, but
They
yes,
would
it's
have
like
beat. They
you
would have
can't.
beat this team 5-6.
I'm not gonna say City play like trash. City did what they need to do to win that game
I
because
just feel
they,
like
at the end of the day, they were away, so they got the great win for them. Now they 2-0
Bayern
up in
was
the
away
second
too.
leg. Yeah, but that's
Bayern
Bayern.
was away to
But
Lazio.
but you have to understand though, it's a psychology thing with City too because they know they failed so many times in the quarterfinal that they just want to edge it. They don't just want to go all out. Because
Plus,
why go all out for?
the way
Especially
that,
against a team like Gladbach.
plus the
Why?
way that Man City play is like different. Like the philosophy is different.
Yeah,
Like,
the philosophy is different.
Bayern's a very balls to the wall. Hyper.
Yeah, high line. Yeah, they they,
So,
they, they love playing that style.
exactly, and Man City is more lethargic, methodical. So they like to break you down in a slow kind of way. So that's why sometimes that they'll win a game against like low block teams, but only be like one or two.
Because this is the problem. I think we get confused as football fans. Yes, we want goals, but does it really matter how you win in the Champions League as long as you get the result? That's all that matters. So that's all that matters to win
I
it.
mean,
Because it
I
doesn't
don't
really
know,
matter.
man.
Because let's be real, the 2018 Real Madrid, right? Yes, we beat Juve 3-0 in the first leg, but in the second leg, they made a comeback, which we got a pen in one leg. And Bayern Munich, too, we won the first leg. But again, the second leg, we just had to grind it. In the Champions League final, we were poor in the first half, but in the second half, we switched it so different. You just need to get result. Like, you don't have to play, like, if this was the 2018-2019 City, they probably would have went for 5 or 6 goals because that's how they were. Like, they would just blitz team like 4-5-0 like it was nothing. But you can see the philosophy has changed.
But guys, do you think if they face like a team like PSG, Bayern, they could get exposed? Do you think so?
No, because there's really nowhere to expose the City team. Again, that's what I'm saying. The issue that the City team always had was defensively. They were not as solid as they are now because what Pep is doing, Pep was tweaking the system because against Arsenal, he was playing with 3 midfielders. He was playing with De Bruyne as a false nine. Today, he put Jesus in. So he's always tweaking the system, and they're very good defensively, which what
Guys,
I think they were lacking.
guys, the Champions League has been very, very boring. I don't know what happened to the Champions League, but it's been
Because we haven't reached the quarter yet.
Yeah, because the only real the only the exciting game or supposed to be exciting was PSG Barcelona and Barcelona.
and that one is already over.
Right, exactly. That's my point. I'm sure that was supposed to be like the
The quarterfinal because
So-
this year,
That's
'Cause-
why I say this. I don't understand the reason why they made the Champions League knockout stage 2 legs.
bro, it's
Should have
always been
kept.
2
They
legs,
should have
bro.
had it at 1 leg. They
Why?
should have had it one. Because look, there's no such thing as away going away or playing at home. There's no
What do you
advantage.
mean?
You get no advantage because everyone is playing at a neutral stadium. There's
Yeah, but no,
advantage.
I don't agree with that, yes, society, because in a one-legged game, anything is possible, bro.
But that's the
Anything.
point. That's
No,
what you
but
want.
we can't do that though. You can't really do that because it's the Champions League. It's known for the 2 away
But
leg
do you
attack.
want
It's known for
entertainment?
that.
You
I
want
do want entertainment, but I'm not surprised the games are like that because Gladbach,
but
Porto,
Hilton, let's be real. Let's be real.
Barcelona.
Okay, let's be real.
The
What is the
Dortmund
point?
Sevilla game was pretty excited. That game was pretty excited.
Okay, but what's the point? The reason why I'm saying that is like, what is the point of watching the second leg of a PSG Barcelona? What is the point of watching the second leg
Hey, bro,
of Bayern?
it's the
I mean,
Champions League.
you could have said that in 2017 when
Yeah, you could have
Yeah,
said
but
that in
then that's
2017.
2017. I mean, this is completely different. There is no way
Nah, bro, I'm
Barcelona's gonna
sorry. It
come
has
back.
to stay as a two leg because look at the quarter, bro. The quarter is looking like there's gonna be a lot of big games. Because let's keep it real, everyone that's advancing in a quarter or look potential big team like
No,
City,
but then look,
Bayern,
here's a problem,
PSG.
guys. Here's a problem. I can already tell you the draw of the quarterfinals. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna get the quarterfinals is gonna be even boringer.
How
Think
would
about it. We're gonna have Real Madrid versus Man City.
how is that boring?
We're probably gonna have we're probably gonna have PSG versus Sevilla or Dortmund, whoever comes out. We're
That's a
probably,
good game.
we're
Sevilla
probably
versus PSG versus Dortmund. That's a
Whoa,
very good game.
Vilton, let me finish. Let me finish. Then we're probably gonna have Liverpool play against Juve. We're probably gonna have Juve versus Liverpool, and we're probably gonna have Bayern played Chelsea. No one who wants to watch that.
Bro, those
Who
are all
wants
big
that?
games.
Chelsea
Those
Bayern,
are all big games.
bro. I
What?
don't. I want to
Is it
see.
because Manchester United is not in the Champions League, bro? Is this why?
Bro, no. If Manchester United was in the Champions League, we would have made it more entertaining. We would have had an upset, bro. We would have like made it interesting, bro.
This
Come on,
might be
bro.
the biggest quarterfinal game we're gonna have. Cause let's be real, the only weaker team I see in the quarterfinal this year is Dortmund and possibly Real Madrid, and maybe
Juve.
Chelsea, and maybe
And
in Juve. But those are still big games. Though. Do you really want to underestimate Real Madrid, Juve, and Chelsea in the Champions League and Dortmund in the Champions League knockout game? You
Bro,
don't want.
we all know. Like, and for me, this is what I want. I want to see. This is the ties I want to see. Either a PSG versus Man City. I want to see either a Man City Bayern Munich. I either want to
You're
see
gonna get that. You're gonna get those
PSG
games
or Bayern.
regardless.
I don't want to see him in the semis and finals. I want to see him in the quarterfinals. That's what I want to see.
Okay, then pray for a draw because I'm excited for the quarters this year because there's gonna be a lot of big games. So I'm excited for the quarters.
I hope we get a Bayern Man City or something, or a Bayern I don't know, PSG or something. I don't something like that. I don't want
play each other that early though.
I want, but then it's like at the end of the day, then because
Mr. Baka, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Why do two of them?
What's your take on the Madrid match? For me, it was boring. That match was. I was literally just sleeping. I was sleeping in that match. I was sleeping. That's how boring the match is.
To be honest, I don't know why people wrote Madrid off. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's
Because of the because of the
Atlanta."
injuries they have.
Even
Because of
even with the injuries, I still because Madrid just have this weird way of just like showing up. Like when it matters, like that's the difference between Madrid and and any other club that is not elite here. So Atlanta, when I saw the draw and I saw Madrid, Atlanta, I just knew this is not the game that is going to get Madrid knocked out. Maybe later on in the quarter finals, maybe if they meet like Vilton said, was it? It was Man City. You said you want to see a Man City Bayern, yeah?
Yeah, Man City. Yes,
okay, yes, I said yeah. A Man City Bayern will be, but at the end of the day, I don't see Madrid going past.
For me, I don't want to see Man City Bayern. Do you know what I want to see? Man City PSG.
I've been said I want to see that game,
but
I wouldn't mind seeing PSG versus City or City versus Bayern. I wouldn't mind
either or. I don't care. I either Manchester.
Mr. Baka, just finish up. We'll talk about the quarterfinal prediction. Just continue speaking.
Okay. So, okay. To be honest, I don't really have much to say. Like, I love you guys so much. Like Vilton, Yasser Said, Abdullah. You understand the Black Mbappe? That's what I love you guys.
Black
You guys.
Balotelli, don't worry.
Sorry, Black
I
Balotelli.
am evicted now. I am convicted. Chich has killed me. He has
No,
literally killed me.
no, you actually need to be inducted Class A.
But I eventually won on Mbappe. Though I won on Mbappe. Mbappe finally get my appreciation. He
to
finally
be
got it.
to be honest, like I can't even catch a break with this Mbappe guy because 2018 World Cup I was supporting Argentina. It's so bad that the Argentina-Nigeria match, because I'm Nigerian, obviously, the Argentina-Nigeria match, I was supporting Argentina too. And I know you guys will be like, oh, Messi fanboy, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not even that. Like, I just wanted, because at the end of the day, if Nigeria wins or if Nigeria had won that match and qualified, do you actually think Nigeria stands a better chance of winning the World Cup than Argentina? So I just like, okay, fine. At the end of the day, this is Messi's last World Cup too, because everybody's saying 2020. I don't think
I think he's gonna be there because I think Messi's focusing on Argentina more than Barcelona.
Yeah, it's obvious. It's obvious from the way
Because I don't know if you guys watched the World Cup qualifier. He actually tried really
Yeah,
hard in the
I think I watched
qualifier.
the match against was it Peru that they traveled. I can't remember. But I think it was Bolivia or that
Yeah.
that has a very high altitude. Like
Yeah,
they
and
played.
it's the first one ever in like over 20 something years too.
Yeah. So I watched the match. It was very, very, and he's beginning to have this like what would I say? He's beginning to have this partnership with Lautaro. Though I'm not like too excited, like, oh, what are they going to do in the next World Cup? But I can see like glimpses. But at the end of the day, let's just see. So yeah.
So MK Dons, your thought on the Madrid match? That match was boring, please. It was a boring match.
Oh yeah, but I was surprised. You know what I mean? Especially with the red card as well. I just knew what
I
was
think
gonna happen.
I've looked at the red card again. For me, I do not think it's a red card
It's
for
a
me.
red
I
card.
think
It was a red card for me. It was.
I think it's a
I thought
50-50. It was a 50-50 for me. I don't think it was a red
It
card.
was a red
Other
card.
referee wouldn't have given him a red
Because
card
he
though.
kicked him from behind. To me, it's a red card. No bias for me. No bias.
Actually didn't see that
nah, I thought it
part
was a
of
red
the
card.
game.
But even then, I thought the game was just generally it was a boring game. But Real Madrid did what they need to do. You know what I mean? So kudos to them.
But
I
sorry,
don't think Atlanta will win the second leg either. I think Real Madrid are through, and I think City are through as well. So um, the quarterfinals are pretty. I would say pretty. The early two
We will
games
discuss
are.
the quarterfinal prediction. We'll
so
discuss the prediction in the quarters.
are we writing off
Okay.
Atalanta fully? Like, are we saying
No,
that they
no, no,
can?
no, 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 no.
We'll
We
see.
know.
I'm writing them off.
No, I mean,
No.
no. Remember Ajax 2 years ago. I think they could. I think they could.
But to
I'm
be honest
writing
with
off
you,
Atlanta.
we're losing the second leg 3-0. I'm telling you guys this right now.
Don't stop that.
That's not going to happen.
If that happens, Dortmund, Vilton, if you lose 3-0 to Atalanta, you better hold this thing.
Bro,
You're not
he's
coming up.
using reverse juju. That's what he's doing, man. This guy,
reverse
I know this guy,
psychology.
man. Reverse psychology.
If that happen, I will give you my link. I will just give you the username and password. You'll be the one to. I won't even talk. You will host the show. You will
Guys,
host the
can
show.
we put more? Can we talk about Zizou and put respect on his name? This guy, it doesn't matter how many difficult challenges he has come across. For some reason, he's always seemed to overcome them. And look at the injury list he had today. Look at the bench he had today, and still he won away in the Champions League in the round of 16. This guy,
Against
Zizou
Atlanta.
is Mr. Madrid. I personally have this agenda, this Zizou agenda. Like, credits to Zizou. Like, I'm not taking away anything he did, the triplet, whatever he did, he winning the league for. But I strongly believe that if Zizou, if he goes to another team, if he coaches another team, I don't think it will be. I just feel like this thing where is tailor made, like match made in heaven, Zidane and Madrid. Like, I personally don't think he can do it elsewhere. Like if he goes to I don't know, which club can he go to? If he moves
Juventus.
to Juventus, I
Juventus.
don't think. Okay, Juventus is like I don't know. Obviously Juventus are expected to win the league, so obviously if he wins the league, but I'm saying like Champions League wise, like if he leaves Madrid, I don't think he can do it elsewhere. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. But yeah,
But
that was
guys,
what.
have you guys actually just stopped and looked at his record in terms of trophies that he has won? I think the only time Zizou has not won a trophy was the time where he took over at mid-season. But even so, I think last this it was when he came back and he took over Solari that season where he finished where they got knocked out by Ajax. Um, I think that was the only season he has not won a trophy. Every season, single season he has been at Real Madrid, he has won either the Champions League or he has either won the La Liga. And this year, even this year, it looks like Real Madrid is probably going to win La Liga because the only
You can say yes.
Relax,
Atletico are,
side,
Yes.
relax, bro,
no,
relax.
for me, Atletico are looking as both.
Relax,
With
side.
a
Bro,
game in
that's
hand.
aside, we're not even gonna finish top four in La Liga this year. I think we're gonna finish like in sixth, fifth place this year.
Joseph, I know
The
what you're doing,
reverse
bro.
psychology, reverse,
Bro, sorry, if
reverse.
you're gonna do that, it has to at least be realistic, or it's not gonna.
No,
So
guys,
Beaton is jinxing us, right? Beaton is literally jinxing us.
the guys,
It's
but
good.
but but
yeah,
if Atletico don't, if somehow they find a way to break it up, like they don't win the league, I think we need to like have a different conversation about Simeone because that guy
Right.
is. How can you bottle a 10 points or 13? I think at some point it was 13 points. Yeah,
yeah.
yes, so it
We'll
was
have a
13 points.
we'll have a conversation about it.
He
We'll
can't.
surely have it.
I
And
dare
I think
him.
he's the highest paid manager in world football.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is. And he has like a weird, like I think 7 year contract. We are Let's Go, and he's just like on his.
7 years.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Let me check. I'm not. I'm not too
Wow.
sure, but yeah, I think he has a
But
long.
guys, we also I think with
So
the end.
guys, let's talk a little bit about the Man City that would just have a sneak preview about the quarterfinal prediction we have in our mind. So for me, for the Man City team, the second leg for me should be a forfeit. I'm not watching that match. I did not even watch it today. So I did not even watch it. I was because I was only watching the Madrid match because it was after the first 35 minutes, I was sleeping already because it was boring. It was just boring. That match was just boring. So for me, do you see any team stopping City in this round of season you guys have seen? Maybe in the like of PSG, Bayern Munich, um, maybe Dortmund.
Yeah,
I don't.
anybody can beat anybody. Anyone like Byron,
Which team are you confident of that can stop Manchester City out of the round of season you've seen?
PSG and Byron. Those are the only two teams I see that.
PSG. Did someone just say PSG?
Yeah,
I said PSG, Bayern,
PSG and Byron. If everybody
Liverpool.
can beat Manchester
I
City,
can, I agree. Bayern will beat anybody, but PSG,
bro, PSG.
I have my doubts.
No,
I have my
PSG.
doubts.
Wait, first of all, PSG made it to a Champions League final. Manchester City have never sniffed a final in their entire
Guys,
history.
I have a
True,
question.
true.
And second, Mbappe is hitting form. So if Mbappe and Neymar are back, and Marco, his name is not Verratti, his name is Marco. Marco is that cool. Marco, the way the PSG fan worship this guy, bro, and Marquinhos. Because let's be real, PSG have a good defense too when they're on it. Marquinhos and Kempembe, that's a very good partnership. I don't trust. Obviously, I don't trust that. I don't remember that right back name. He's kind of a break for me because in the Barcelona game, he was much of a break. But if Mbappe and Neymar are there and Marco is there, well, PSG. I'm not saying they're gonna absolutely beat City, but that's the matchup I really want to see: PSG versus City because
Exactly.
each
I
other.
have another match.
Someone sent the super chat. Can someone explain and the panel explain the Elise situation?
Oh,
Why did I did not know?
No,
I
I
did
can.
not know.
Well, hold on. I can. I was watching because in America Champions League comes on at CBS Sports.
CBS, yeah, CBS,
So
CBS access.
there's a guy. His name there's one of the reporters that's there at the game that was reporting, and he said that it had nothing to do. The Ilicic situation had nothing to do with injuries. that the reason why Gasparini took him out was because he was not happy. I thought the way he was playing, and
I
that's
again. Wow,
yes,
what's going on? Why is the
that's
other
what
manager being angry? The same thing with Cho. Now
yeah.
Ilicic.
So
Who's gonna be next?
he said he wasn't impressing, he wasn't passing well, and he was. That's what the reporter on that was on the stadium literally was in the stadium watching the game. That's what he said. He said Gasperini was very vocal and he told him, "Hey, move." He was didn't like the way he was passing the ball, didn't like the way he was actually impacting the game, and that's why he took him out.
Wow, I didn't see that coming though.
Yeah, so I don't know. I
Man,
think there might actually be a situation between Ilicic and Gasperini.
Gasperini. The
Yeah,
same situation with Pau Gomez. Is it Pau? Is it
Papu Gomez.
Papu Gomez?
that's
Same
whatever
thing.
I don't
happened. Like,
mean that's
does
good for
anyone
us.
know
That's
why?
good for us.
Do you know what happened between them? Like, what did the manager do wrong?
I have no idea, but that's good for us though. If they fighting each other, fight, 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 fight. That's good. The
Okay,
locker room is
guys.
gonna be toxic.
Here, think about this, guys. Another matchup that's going to be interesting for me is Dortmund if they come out and Manchester City.
I was gonna say
Mm,
that too. That's gonna be a
yeah,
match.
that would be a great game. That would be a very
Sancho with
So since everybody is talking about the UCL preview, let's just have a conversation about the UCL quarterfinal preview. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I think to be honest with you, the draw that I see happen, the game that I want to see. I want to see if Juve beats Porto. I want Juve to go against Liverpool.
Mhm.
Since they both are have issues right now. I want to see both issue team go at it. I think it's a fair matchup for both, and I want to see Atalanta go against either Dortmund or
See, I know what you're doing. Why are you saying Atlanta? Well, Atlanta's not coming out, bro.
Joe. Atalanta's coming out,
No,
bro.
they're not. Victor thought he was slick, bro.
the
I really want to see City versus PSG. That's my dream matchup because I don't want to see it in the
Yeah.
final because I want to see it in both legs. I want to see it in
Yes.
both legs.
2 legs.
But
Yeah.
my dream final is Bayern versus City. I want to see a Bayern versus City final. But there's so many good games that you could see. Chelsea, you could potentially see a Chelsea versus a
I
Dortmund.
don't want Bayern. I do not want Bayern. I don't want Bayern.
What if
Please. I don't. I don't
Chelsea
want.
gets PSG? What if Chelsea gets PSG?
PSG.
That'd be a good game.
I'll be
That'd be a good
60-40. But Bayern, I
that
don't
that
want Bayern.
good game. That should be a very good game.
that
Wait,
that would be a
wait,
very
wait,
good
wait.
game.
Guys, wait.
Tuchel
Abdullah,
versus
you guys
PSG.
are coming out? I guess
The what?
Abdullah, you guys are coming out of the tie? I want to hear from you. Do you
But
think you're
but,
gonna come out?
but these are my quarterfinal
We'll have
games.
to wait and see after the second leg.
Come
I don't
on.
want to judge after this first leg now.
I think this is gonna be the draw because
Mhm.
I want in the future. I use my time machine. I'm about to tell you guys the draw right now. It's gonna be Liverpool versus PSG, Atalanta versus Man City, Dortmund versus
No. I don't
Munich,
want that.
and
No,
Bayern.
I don't want that. Atlanta play Man City again. They already played already.
No, Atalanta is gonna play against Manchester City. Then
Nah,
we're gonna get Dortmund versus Chelsea. Then we're gonna get Bayern Munich versus Juve. That's gonna be the matchup.
I don't want that. I don't want. I don't want that. Anyone wants to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I'll
Okay.
go. So I believe it's gonna be like Vilton said, Juve and Liverpool. I think they're gonna play against each other. Then I actually think Manchester City will play against Bayern, guys. It's either no. I take that back. It's gonna be Chelsea Bayern. It's gonna be Chelsea Bayern. It's gonna be Chelsea Bayern. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, guys. We all know that UEFA is gonna pick up that ball and be like, Chelsea playing Chelsea at home, playing FC Bayern Munich, or the reigning the champions from last season, playing against the champions from 2012, Chelsea FC. I know that's what's gonna happen, bro. I know it's gonna happen, and it's gonna be pure entertainment.
If I say that draw, I will start praying from the day they do that draw till the day we play. I will start
Sure.
praying. I will start praying. I don't want that. That's an induction.
Oh, pure entertainment. Bayern Munich are gonna be like, okay, last season we scored, and what's the aggregate score? 7-1 last season.
Yeah.
7-4. Is it 7-1 or 7-4?
7-1. 4. You guys didn't score 4 goals. 7-1. They're gonna be like, guys, we could do better. We can do better. Oh man, it's gonna be bad. Uh, so I definitely can see it's gonna be Chelsea, Bayern. I think it's gonna be Dortmund, Man City. Actually, Dortmund, Man City, then PSG, and who's PSG gonna play then? Who's left? Juve, Liverpool.
Sorry.
Yeah, Dortmund,
The,
Man City, Bayern, Chelsea, Juve.
I,
I don't know who.
I feel like the two potential ties that could be very nice. This I think is that could be very open. Like is I think Dortmund City will be very, in as much as City are favorites, but I just think Dortmund could say what's up, like, because Pep has this tendency to like tinker when it comes to like games like this. So it would be nice to see what Sancho and Haaland can do. And yes, Liverpool, Juve will be a very good matchup because the two teams, any of them could say what's up. Liverpool are not too much on form, like they've not hit a good run of form. Juve are okay, neither here nor there, but they are also a good side. So I think it will be good to see like this Ronaldo Salah thingy. You get, so those are like the two games I feel like will be very exciting. Like anybody could win, but anybody, basically anybody PSG. As far as PSG and Bayern don't face each other, I think they should go through wherever they meet. PSG would go through.
Yeah,
And
before you go on,
Bayern
somebody asked a super chat here. Do you think Sabata getting injured was a more downfall to Atlanta than the getting a red card because of his link up and other play? For me, yes. Yes, I would say yes, because before he was injured, he was literally giving Madrid defense a lot of problem and a lot of issues. A lot of issues. Now that he has been injured now, I don't know how long the injury is going to be. Maybe it's going to be fit for the second leg. I have no idea. But because he's informed with Muriel too. So I think Zabata getting injured is a huge plus for Real Madrid. Him not playing because his physicality, his other play is like very, very important to Atlanta. So for me, I think that's kind of a big loss for Atlanta than getting a red card because having Zapata in that team is a very clinical striker. When you give him the chance, you are in trouble. You are in big trouble. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Baka.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Like, that's pretty much.
Wait, guys, let me ask you guys a question. Up to what round is it that teams from the same country can play against each other? Is it the quarter?
Quarterfinal. They can play the quarterfinal. They can play in the semis.
So we can have a Man City Chelsea.
Yeah, in the quarters, yes.
No, we can, but I don't want it to happen.
That's if Chelsea makes it that far.
Wow.
Don't forget they have to.
Yeah. I thought it was going to win 5-0 next game, so you're right.
What if we get a Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool?
Very possible.
Oh, that would be slaughtered.
Crazy. That'd be crazy.
That would be a perfect opportunity for revenge. Pep would, well, who knows?
Yeah, but then they also have Karius in goal, bro. That literally gives away 2 goals, man. Damn.
Alisson Becker will be fine. It's not the classic. He's just having a bad moment. It's okay. He'll be fine. Becker's not that bad. It's just that he's just been having a horrendous season himself.
So sorry, guys. Sorry to go off topic, but would you before Becker started breaking it up? Like, would you guys have? I want to know where you guys rank him. Like in your is he even in your top 3?
No.
No. I mean, before he even started,
no, it wasn't. Nope, it was not.
But
Since he came to Liverpool, he has been hyped up as the best goalkeeper in world football. Now they won the Premier League, they won the Champions League. Liverpool fans are like, yes, he's better than Ederson, he's better than no, yeah, he's better than Oblak.
No. The best
Chill,
goalkeeper in the
chill.
world is still Neuer, as far I'm concerned.
Liverpool fans will tell you Alisson Becker is better
I,
than Manuel Neuer and Jan Oblak.
I think the best goalkeeper in the world is between Oblak and Neuer. Like, I don't think
Oblak
it's
to
like
me
a
is a
clear.
good keeper, but if you don't
Guys,
win anything, bro, I can't put you ahead of Neuer. I just
the thing
can't.
is,
Like
That's
if
true.
you are this good, leave Atletico, go to a Bayern, go to a Real Madrid, go to any other club and prove it. I'm not saying he's a trash keeper. I just can't. I just hate when people put him ahead of Neuer. It doesn't make sense.
As Ichich would say, dud. Dud.
No, he's a
Dud.
very good goalkeeper. Chelsea, if Chelsea were to get Oblak, whoa, that'd be a fantastic. But it's just
would be a
that
good one.
Oblak, leave that
guys,
team, bro.
here's the problem though. Here's a problem with goalkeepers. It's very, very hard to judge goalkeeper in terms of like who's the best or who's not the
That's
best.
why we go by season. That's why we go by who wins the
But
Champions
then,
League.
because there was a time period where Manuel Neuer, especially for Germany, he was looking like a Class A brick, man.
He was looking
Yeah.
suspect. Yeah, that's
He was.
Is it that 2014 World Cup or
That's
2018 World Cup?
no, 2018 World Cup.
Like
You know-
2017 to like 2019.
Yeah,
And
he
then-
was injured for a long. He was injured for a long time. That
Yes.
period
Yeah.
too. That was why.
And then there's also a time period where Ter Stegen was arguably the best goalkeeper in the world.
Very
So,
true.
guys, so for me, yeah, the Stegen, don't.
And
Ter
in
Stegen
15,
was-
yeah, in 2015, but 8-2,
No,
4-0,
he was
3-0.
at one point, yeah.
That's recently though. That's the recent.
I don't know about that. Okay,
No, he's actually right.
let's go in
The-
order.
the-
Let's go in order. Let's go in order. 15,
Okay.
yeah, I give him 15. You did the treble. 16, Atletico Madrid. 2017, 3-0 against Juve, yeah. And 2018, wait, let me finish. 2018, 3-0 against Roma. 2019,
But
4-0
that's
against
not fair,
Liverpool.
though. That's not fair,
2020,
though. No, no,
8-2.
no.
Bro, I'm sorry. If you consider 8 goals in the
2021,
That's not
2021,
15,
15,
you're
2.
missing. You're missing the point. He said
That's a
he
team
he was the best goalkeeper at some point. So at the point of 8-2 and all that, I don't think obviously it can't be the ball. I genuinely
If you
believe that
just
there
say,
was.
yeah,
there
in
was-
2016,
there-
I would, 2016, yes,
Yeah.
I would give him that. But after 2016,
even after 2016, you have to remember that you have to remember that Barcelona's defense, like anything you are talking about, you have to put the defense into context because you can't just like, I get like when you Wikipedia
3 in a row, though? 3 times, bro?
But would you obviously trust the back?
That's
as
not
in
the goalkeeper, though, is it?
Bro, but at the end of the day, okay, that game, that Liverpool versus Oblak game, that Liverpool versus Atletico game, Oblak was a monster that game. Like the defense, it's not like it's obviously the defense did their job, but Oblak came in clutch for Atletico in that game. I've never seen Ter Stegen have a type of game like that ever in the Champions League.
No, don't for the Valverde's first season. I just remember now Valverde's first season. You
Yes,
could
yes, I
say that
remember
after
that.
Messi, Stegen was arguably it's not even arguably, Stegen was the best. Like it was clutch. Like when it came to big Stegen, I'm serious. That's
I don't know how this guy. See what pisses me off. Navas has never been really as the best keeper in the world.
Valverde's first
Well, what about
season,
the-
I remember.
That's what makes me so mad. I don't know how these trash ass Barca fan always rated sticking, but Navas was never the best keeper in the world at one point. He was I never voted him as the best keeper in the world. Navas doing that 3-3 run, which he clearly was.
No, obviously,
The
like
stadium was at one
just
point the
just
best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah, I give you that in 2016, but after that,
Exactly.
he's been garbage.
So let's finish up our prediction. So who has not spoken? SK, your prediction for the quarterfinals.
Garbage is strong.
So okay. Our prediction, I think that Man City would probably play a team like Dortmund. I think that would be an interesting matchup to watch. I think that Liverpool. I agree with that. If I were to guess a team that would play, I think it would be like Juventus, since they're both struggling right now. And I think Ronaldo would feast in that game, in that time, in my opinion. You know, assuming that Juventus will lose to Porto anyway. Just don't forget that. PSG will play Real Madrid. And I think that's who I think they'll play in the quarterfinals. And I think Chelsea will probably play trying to think.
Bayern.
No. Um, so I think that they might play. Who are the other teams left besides Bayern?
There's PSG, there's Juventus, there's Manchester City, there's Liverpool, there's possibly Real Madrid or Atlanta. There's also who again? Dortmund, Sevilla.
Yeah.
It's Dortmund, Sevilla. So there's so many teams.
I think.
Oh, what are you gonna say?
Yeah, no. For your prediction, Chelsea is the only team left. Like for Bayern is the only team left for Chelsea because you already mentioned.
Yeah,
You mentioned everybody already.
everybody.
Well, shit. Well, then I guess.
No, if Chelsea Bayern, if they draw them together again, that match is just as in it's pointless.
Guys, you are hearing me now. If Chelsea Bayern draw, I am seriously saying this. I am forfeiting the match. I will tell HH, please don't let us do any guard for like a week or 2 weeks. Just forget it.
But Bayern have been looking very suspect.
Wait, say what?
You guys, I said Bayern have been looking very suspect. You guys know, like
yes, but
they are beatable. They are
Yeah,
beatable.
but if there's one thing about this Champions League is that you can't equate league form to Champions League form. That there's no correlation whatsoever in the Champions League. Let's go through the top of the Liga, and I don't know what they did against Chelsea yesterday. Who else?
They were looking against Levante too. To be fair, though, they literally failed to beat Levante twice.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, over 30 years, that they're top of the league for a reason. And meanwhile, Chelsea, sixth in the Premier League or something? So the Bayern, likewise, Bayern lost to Helsinki Kiel or something like that in the thing or something. But obviously, they dismantled Lazio, who are clearly better than some Bundesliga Division 2 side. So I don't think you can compare this season what people are doing in their respective leagues to here.
True.
It's matchups. So it's matchups, it's tactics. So does this team, the way they play, does this match up the way this other team is playing? So I think Bayern going forward, I think.
So
let me just hear everybody's prediction. SK, so you said Bayern Chelsea. That's tough. I don't want that.
What if we get another Liverpool versus City quarterfinal again?
Very possible. Very possible.
Well, I think Liverpool will get dismantled if that happens.
If that happens, I think Liverpool can easily beat Man City this time.
But see, again, it's Liverpool with their European. This is the same thing that happened when they went to Leipzig because Leipzig was second. Oh, Leipzig going to get the dub over Liverpool, no problem, and they beat them. So, just European competition, I think, is different. And even though City are in the same league, would you be really surprised if Liverpool got the dub again and City in the Champions League?
No, I'm not surprised.
I won't be too surprised because don't forget Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool, they are like done in the league already. They are not chasing after the league. Yeah, maybe top 4 or whatever. But so they can focus they can channel all their energy into, okay, this is do or die. We die here. But Man City have pretty much won the league already, but they're still a bit, they might be chasing maybe some records. Oh, we want to do this, we want to go unbeaten, from the last time we lost our maybe a 20 game unbeaten. They have targets, so that could easily play into Liverpool's hands because don't forget they would be what's it called? They would, I don't know. I just feel like that match, that Liverpool Man City quarterfinal game, a potential Liverpool City quarterfinal game, could favor Liverpool more than City. In as much as City are the favorites, they are whatever. But I just feel like it will favor Liverpool more. Liverpool could. I won't be surprised if Liverpool says something. Liverpool says what's up.
So, where was your UCL prediction as a stand at the moment?
You mean the who's going to
quarterfinal? Yeah, quarterfinal prediction.
Oh, so who's going to go for the quarterfinal? Basically, is that what you mean?
No, the opponent, they're likely to meet each other.
Likely to draw. Yeah,
likely to draw.
Okay. I think for some reason I have a weird feeling that Chelsea are going to draw Dortmund. I think Dortmund will get through against Sevilla.
Red Devil, if I'm doing Dortmund. Thank goodness. I'll be happy. I don't want Bayern. Please.
You know,
I do not want Bayern. Please.
well,
I
fine. I
don't.
just have like, you know, Tuchel being an ex-Dortmund coach, maybe that might happen. You know, so I have a thing that might happen. Bayern, I think, will play PSG. I think they're going to get that before the final. I think that's going to happen. I still think Juventus is going to get through because they've got the away goals. I still think they'll turn up. So in that case, I think it'll be Juventus against Real Madrid.
Wow. So you want Ronaldo to go back? Wow. Wow. Ronaldo to go back to Bernabeu. Wow.
And what's left? So I think
Hey, man, Bayern Munich.
yeah. So no, I said Bayern Munich against PSG.
Oh, Bayern Munich
against
PSG.
Juventus against Real.
Juventus, Madrid, Liverpool.
Wait,
Liverpool.
City against
Liverpool City.
Liverpool City. Yeah, Liverpool City.
Oh.
Because
Liverpool City.
what I've noticed is that UEFA like to, especially in the quarterfinals, they like to draw English teams against each other. Think of the amount of times that when there've been like 3 or 4 English teams. There's always been, if there's at least minimum 3 or 4, there's always been a draw between 2 English teams. Spurs against City, Liverpool against against City. And when there's been 3 or 4 teams at the quarterfinal stage, they always try and pit them together. So I think they'll try and pit City and Liverpool again.
If that happens, I don't know what to say. Because if Liverpool starts now they're humbled, and I like the way they're humbled now. They need to shut up their mouth. They'll shut up for like a season. If they beat Man City now, they get into the same. It's like yes,
but what
yes,
people forgetting is right. That what people forgetting, right? One, Liverpool is not a baby club in the European. They have history. They're the 4th. Wait, let me see. Real Madrid, AC Milan, whatever. They have 6 UCL. But the thing about it, this is revenge for Liverpool too, because they know this City is gonna win the Prem. So this is the perfect time for you to get your revenge and kick City out in Europe again and embarrass them. If Liverpool gets City, don't just assume that City's gonna absolutely destroy them because City beat them 4-1. Because we've seen it. We've seen it before in Europe. We in 2018, didn't City beat them like 4-0 in the Prem?
Yeah,
and Liverpool kicked them out of Europe. So you never know.
Also, I think by the time they're back, some of their injuries will be back as well. Not all of them, but some of them.
Fabinho, Keita will be back. Diego Jota is back too.
Jota might be back as well. So suddenly, like, they're not going to necessarily face that same team. Especially in my opinion, I think if Jota comes back, into the team, then only got someone who's going to score goals. So,
Let me take down your prediction for the UCL quarterfinal prediction. Possibly. You there?
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say off. I'm going to say off the record, right? Obviously, we don't know the Chelsea result, but I'm gonna say Chelsea are going through. I'm not saying out of hope we're gonna go through, but I think there's gonna be English tie. I think there's gonna be an English tie. I'm gonna go Liverpool.
I don't want Man City. I don't want Man City. No, I don't want Man City.
I'm gonna go.
I do not want Man City.
I'm gonna go Man City. I'm gonna go Man City Porto. I don't think Juve are going through. I'm gonna go Man City.
Wait, Man City. Juventus are getting knocked out by Porto. You telling me Porto is gonna knock out Juventus with Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah.
If that happens, that's a bad investment for Juventus entirely. They are bored entirely. That's a bad investment. You brought Ronaldo in to win the UCL, and he's been knocked out by Porto.
That's not but I don't think Juve's team is. I think Porto. I just believe. I don't know why, but I just think Porto will get the job done. I don't know why, but that's my thing. I said PSG, Dortmund, and then who's left? Is Bayern. Oh, Bayern, Real Madrid. Bayern, Real Madrid. I think will happen.
Bayern Madrid. What of PSG? Who do PSG play?
Yeah.
Who do you want PSG to play?
I think PSG are going to get the winner of the Dortmund Sevilla tie. Whether it's Dortmund or Sevilla, I think PSG will get them.
So you want Man City to face either Sevilla or Borussia Dortmund? Is that what you're trying to?
Nah, PSG will get Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund.
So PSG, Borussia Dortmund, or
Yeah.
Sevilla?
Yeah.
That's it. Didn't Dortmund play the PSG last year? Didn't they play PSG last year?
Yes.
I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
I think they won the
did.
first leg too.
They did.
That is a bad match. That would be
They did. I
interesting.
remember Haaland scoring a
Alada
banger
Sancho.
game though.
Alada Sancho. That's not bad. That's not bad. So Victor has a question, and I really want to ask the guys. You said 3 teams to win the UCL this year. Ooh, let me stamp to SK. Who do you think will win this UCL? Just give me 3 teams that you are sure will win.
PSG, Man City, or Bayern. I think
PSG, Man City, Bayern.
Yeah, I think those three have the best chances of winning it because I think they're the teams with the least amount of glaring weaknesses. So yeah, so barring injuries, I think they should be the ones.
Fair enough. Victor, top 3 teams to win it this year.
I'm gonna go in order: Bayern, PSG, and Liverpool.
Bayern, PSG, and Liverpool. Wow. Bayern, PSG, Liverpool. Mr. Barker, 3 teams to win it.
I would say Bayern, Man City, PSG.
Bayern, Man City, PSG.
Yeah, in that order.
Bayern, Man City, PSG. MK Dons. Oh, top 3 who wins it?
In this order, I'll say PSG. I'll say I'll say Bayern.
Bayern, okay.
And I'll go Chelsea third.
Guys, I did not say that.
I'll go Chelsea third. 2012. Hey, listen. If 2012
Red Devil, it's not me. I did not say that. Sahid, it's not me.
Chelsea third.
Chelsea third, man.
Stop that. I did not say that. Not me.
This is the problem. Like,
I am humbled. No, I am humbled.
Team at the beginning of the season, and now it's it's
Chelsea.
If Chelsea. No. Anything can happen.
Spurs got to a Champions League final. Anything could happen. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. And I think there's a Cinderella story. So if it's Chelsea or Dortmund, I think it's one of the two.
If we're talking about underdogs, I think Juve would be like the underdog.
No, we just want to talk about them. Potential winner. We're gonna talk about underdogs. Just want to talk the top 3 weekend and winners.
The thing is, all the teams are so strong. If you have the 8 that are there, all those teams in a way are strong and have players in their teams that could do something. If on their day they could do something. So it's not like, if you assume that it's going to be Juventus, either Chelsea or Atletico, Madrid, PSG, and so on. All these teams, they could all win. They've got strong players, so I wouldn't say there's like an underdog here, in my opinion. If I personally had to pick 3, to put Bayern there. I don't care what Bayern are doing in the league; it doesn't matter. Because they've still got a squad, and it's still good. I'm gonna put PSG there, including Neymar, and Neymar, and Mbappe continue to G up, and Verratti is fit. And then you've got to play City. And the only reason I say City is because their defense is really good. They've not conceded in the league for goodness knows how long. They've not conceded in the Champions League since match day 1. So those to me would be my 3 picks. Chelsea, but at the same time, I think I do agree with MK Dons. Chelsea are still favourites to win the Premier League title. That's certainly the one. I'll leave it there.
Guys, a lot of people are using reverse psychology of HH. I am not there. I did not say that. I did not.
You guys need to focus on getting top 4 first before we even sort
exactly.
of the worst situation if you guys to get out. And then you guys don't even qualify for the Champions League next year.
Exactly. So for me, that's why I'm being humbled at the moment first. This one of games is gonna determine where we wanna finish. United, Liverpool, Everton, Leeds United. That's gonna be those matches that will define where we wanna go. Then we play Atletico next. That defines our season.
Abdullah, you're gonna beat Manchester United with ease. They're in the Europa League for crying out loud, bro. If you can beat Manchester United, like what are you there for, Abdullah? Come on, bro. Vamos, Chelsea. I expect 3-0. Werner hat-trick this Sunday.
Guys, I did not say that.
And you guys are gonna win the league by like 20 points because Atletico's gonna lose every game from now to the end of the season. Bookmark that.
Bro, relax, bro. We're not even gonna finish top 3 this season, La Liga. I think we will let's see if we finish top 4. To be honest with you, I think we're gonna finish 4th, and I think Atlanta is winning the next 3-0. I'm saying it right now.
Guys, this guy here is using the bad psychology.
So
it's copying it.
Lamar hat-trick the second leg. Bookmark that too. Lamar hat-trick.
I didn't say that. So, yes, side top 3 is gonna win the UCL this year.
Who top 3 of people that are going to UCL?
Yeah, top 3 teams this year that you're gonna win. Not underdog, just potential champions.
For me, Bayern Munich. Till someone beats Bayern Munich, they're the number 1 favorites in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have the finalists as well, PSG. Again, till you beat PSG, I don't want to hear it. And like Red Devil Studio said, Juve are trash. Chelsea, they're struggling. So even though they beat Atletico Madrid, Dortmund and Sevilla, put those aside. Liverpool, I mean, nope. So the only team that's even left, I'm scratching the barrel, bro. I'm looking for any hopes and signs for any team to be good. Real Madrid, nope. Barcelona, nope. The only team that's left is Manchester City. And this team, like Brother Studio said, this team, as much as I do believe that the defense have not been tested as much, and the way they had it, they're having it too easy. That defense, they're really not facing a lot of attacks and a lot of teams attacking them because the City is just dominating in terms of possessions and in terms of the tempo of the game. They just dominated every team. I still believe Manchester City is up there. I mean, to be honest, there's not a lot of quality in world football nowadays. There's not really good teams. Let's be real. The Real Madrid are not the same team they were. Neither is Barcelona. Neither is Juve. Neither is Chelsea. This is one of the worst Chelsea side I've ever seen. I'm not gonna lie to you. No. Really? I'm talking about in the Champions League. I'm comparing this to the 09s and the Mourinho Chelsea's, and this is
easy.
Yes, I'm pretty sure this team is better than the 2012 Chelsea team.
Yeah, no, definitely.
What?
Hey.
What?
Milton, chill.
Based on the quality of the players,
in terms of the quality
of the players, let's be real. I think I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea fan. Any Chelsea fan, and correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure this team is slightly better than the 2012.
No,
I know y'all won the Champions League.
I agree.
Let me respond to Said. You see those 2012 years, there was the only difference I would say to this year is that year we have Mikel, there was Drogba, there was Lampard, there was John Terry, there was so many players, there were so many experienced players who understand the level of the UEFA Champions League. But this year They are more talented player this year with flair. But I think the obvious experience, more experienced players in this year are Thiago Silva and Olivier Giroud, who understand the level of the competition of the EPL. Those are the two accumulated with the kind of young players we have like Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Rich James, Ben Chilwell. So if you had this experience with the 2012 and this year is different because the 2012 was aging team. Those team was aging. Those are the team under Jose, Ancelotti, Avram Grant, Roberto Di Matteo, Antonio Conte coming on those kind of years before even Conte took off. Those are the players that follows under the Di Matteo era that won the champion. Those are aging squad. This squad here, only 2 or 3 players are kind of more experienced enough in the UEFA Champions League.
Yeah, no, I agree with. I understand what you're saying, but let's be honest, guys. Let's be 100% honest. Chelsea Football Club has a single Champions League to his name, and that team, the 2012 team, as much as I want to belittle them and say they were lucky, and I still believe they were lucky, that team has won Chelsea's first Champions League in their entire history. That team.
Let's see, we should have won 2. We should have won 2. If not for the UEFA for the 2009, we should have won the Champions League 2009. If not for the UEFA Lonia.
Leave that alone. Stop bringing if into it. Who says you would have been United in that final again, though? Who says you would have won that game? Because let's be real, even though Barca won that game, though, Cristiano Ronaldo had a great performance in that final. Even though Barca won, he's a
genius. That's still hard to be the most is that John Terry Smith. So I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
You just said something about you should have won the 2009
Champions League. It's true. You have Anonia. How many penalties?
Is that Benjamin?
You know why?
Let him talk.
Benjamin.
No, not Benjamin.
So it's not Benjamin. Okay.
That match was filled with so many. Like I mean, the both legs was filled with so much wrong calls from country. It wasn't only Chelsea but I just feel like the English media just made it like it was because they were dreaming of another Man U. Yes,
but look at Mr. Baka. This is
you gotta get up.
This is it. Go and the 2009. If there was VAR in this era and there was VAR in that era, like Barcelona out of the Champions League that year.
Don't get me wrong. I admit, yes, the Eto and ball.
You're gonna mention the first leg on
you. They were calls against Barca too. In that, go and watch the thing again. There was, I think there was one offside call against Go and watch the thing again. There was as in from the two sides there was so much this. So I don't think, and who is even to say that even if you face Man U, you are going to beat, like you are so sure you will beat.
We'll beat them back because it's gonna be a revenge because in 2008. That's not it. We won't forget that 2008. So it's gonna be much like. So we're facing you guys again this year.
No.
We want that revenge.
You were getting to get prime Ronaldo though. So here's my thing though. I don't even.
You see, actually called. What's your point?
2009 is one of them. That's like one instance where UEFA has screwed Chelsea over. We can argue about the Luis Garcia ghost goal because I believe that if Chelsea gets to the final that year, we win the Champions League with Jose Mourinho.
It doesn't really matter though, because fundamentally, you actually right now in your possession, you arguably have the best Chelsea player in the last decade, and that is Mason Mount. That is Mason Mount in the last decade. That is your best.
Stop
him. He's the guy who's going to carry.
2020. If he's so good,
he's the best player in the last decade.
Let them. I don't have the strength of Mason. I have ranted on Mason Mount yesterday. I don't want to rant on him.
If he's so good as rival fans claim he is, I would implore y'all to come get him as a free transfer. I would have him packed and ready at the gate at Cobham.
Now this grabs you guys because, like, with players like him and Giroud and Alonso, like carrying this Chelsea team, you got to appreciate the talent that you have.
But to
Red
be
Devil, I
fair,
said the
to
same.
be
I said
fair,
the same thing yesterday. I said it yesterday. I will repeat the same thing I said yesterday. I said if Mason Mount is the best player in Chelsea Football Club, we are in trouble. Him being the best player
He
was
beat Atletico
because
Madrid.
Chelsea
no.
fans,
You
Chelsea
see,
fans have been to.
him being the best player was because Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech has been below par this year.
He
If
beat
both of them are in form, I do not think
But
Mason
but
Mount
he
will
but
beat he beat the
but
best
overshadow him.
team in La
but you
Liga
have to.
with
But you,
Mason Mount.
my thing is Chelsea fans are being too critical of Mason Mount. You understand? You're saying yes, Kai Havertz has been the blah, blah, blah. Okay,
No,
what if Mason Mount also, like, you have to give the guy some credit. I don't see
we are
Chelsea
giving him,
fans.
Mr. Baka.
You
I
you
give
you
him
I
credit.
think you're not giving him
My
enough credit.
problem, Mr. Baka, you know what my problem
I
is.
think you guys are being too critical
My
of him.
problem,
Like,
my problem with Mason Mount is I keep saying it. I don't hate him. Most Chelsea fan knows me very. Who knows me? I do not hate Mount. My problem with Mason Mount is if everybody claim is the best player in Chelsea, as we are saying it,
mm.
his decision making has to be 100%. I don't care how old are you. I do not care. I
but
don't
but
care. Don't give me
but
that
but
crap.
but, but
His
yesterday,
decision making is
but
class A
yesterday, but
for me.
But
yesterday,
here's the
but
thing, guys.
yesterday, he had a decent, he had a
No, in the
very
first half, it was arguably the worst player in the first
yeah,
half.
yeah, 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 no, he had a decent
What?
game.
No, yes, in the first half. No, 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 no.
Did you
because you press, you have a good game? He
no,
played okay,
He was all right.
and
Yeah.
you can see how
that's
much
why I
more
said decent.
fluid
Like, I
and
didn't say, I
unlocked
didn't say,
our
I didn't say
offense
it
became
was
when
great.
Havertz
I
and
didn't.
Ziyech came in.
See, the
Did
problem
you
with
lose the
But he
game?
had a
Here's the thing, guys.
decent
Here's
game.
the
I
thing.
didn't, I
You
didn't
lose the
praise the guy.
game.
like the
I didn't
problem
say
with
he had
We won.
a
Exactly.
fantastic game
I
or a
said
spectacular game. He had
Wait,
a just.
guys. Here's the thing, though, because the thing is, I understand in terms of Mason Mount, I understand Chelsea fans' point of view because, for example, in Man United we have a player named Scott McTominay. For me, I like Scott McTominay, very good player. But if I tell you guys, we have Bruno Fernandes, we have Pogba, and I say Scott McTominay is our best player, then that's a problem. If Scott McTominay is the best player for Man United, that's a big problem. And
Man U
if
fans told me Scott McTominay was better than Otto after the first leg. I remember Barca, Man U, the first leg. Man U fans told me that McTominay was better than Otto. I was like, what?
He's better than Thiago though right now this season.
Guys,
I'll give you
let
that.
me finish my point, guys. Let me finish my point, please.
Let him
So
finish.
what I'm saying is like, the thing with Mason Mount is it's not the fact that he's not a good player. Is that the fact that Chelsea Football Club, in terms of they lost Eden Hazard, which was a fantastic player, not the Eden Hazard we know now, but the Eden Hazard Chelsea were a fantastic player. They had players like Drogba and Frank Lampard and all these players. And to say that Chelsea Football Club, their best player is Mason Mount, that is a serious problem. And that's if I was a Chelsea fan, that would have got me very annoyed because in my mind, I'm looking at them like they have Christian Pulisic, they have Giroud, they have all these players, and then out of nowhere, people are mentioning Mount. For example, Giroud just scored a bicycle kick, but a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Mount had a very good game today." What are you talking about, Mount?
Yeah, but they don't rate Giroud either though.
I didn't say
Yes.
very
What?
Dude, that's
Chelsea
because
fans
of
love
that's because
Giroud.
of the optics of the fan.
Who loves Giroud?
We love Giroud.
Out the club. You guys want him out the
Chelsea
club?
fans love
the problem
Giroud.
with Mason Mount.
Chelsea fans
I
love
like
Giroud.
Giroud.
What?
We love
When-
Giroud.
When you guys are talking about your starting 11 this season, I don't remember Giroud being named in the starting 11 for Chelsea.
Giroud and
No, Abdullah,
recognize Tammy Abraham. To me,
guys,
Tammy Abraham
guys.
No.
I don't want to talk about Abraham. Abraham for me, Abraham's not a
They
striker.
love
It should be
Giroud.
selling pop off. It should be selling pop off.
Like, guys, the problem with Mason Mount.
Giroud is the only recognized striker at Chelsea.
This is the issue with Mason Mount is that it's not really his fault. The problem is that he's being pigeonholed to be this main team's playmaker when that's not really his strength. And so when he's playing like a cam, everybody else has to change the way they play to accommodate for him because he doesn't actually play there, which is why he ends up looking like the best player all the time because everybody else is switching up what they do to accommodate for him. And I think this team is better when he doesn't play, but I don't think that's because he's a bad player. I think he plays better at center mid. Like if his competition should be with like Kovacic and like Jorginho, I think he should be playing in that position. If he was playing that position, I don't really think there would be such a big divide with with um with what he's actually good at. I think Ziyech honestly should be playing where he plays, and he should be playing behind Ziyech. That's my opinion.
But this is where the problem is. When you say we don't when we say we don't appreciate Olivier, I appreciate Olivier Giroud because I know he's far better striker in that Chelsea football at the
I
moment.
mean, when I appreciate Drew, I mean talking about in the same length that you guys talk about other players. Because quite frankly, Drew's been at Chelsea for 3 seasons. He basically won you the Europa League and was the following season. The goals were so contingent. If it didn't have Drew's goals, you wouldn't even make top to be in a competition. Season in Sevilla, and again more clutch goals in the league to put Chelsea where they are, and yet he's not even talked about in the conversation as one of your better players or one of the players you rely on.
As a Chelsea fan, I will not lie to you. Olivier, I've been saying it.
Getting Haaland, you're talking about getting all the players in.
You see the issue. This is what the issue is. This is thank you for even bringing it up. This is what the issue is. Like I keep saying, some proper Chelsea fans doesn't have brain and does not are senseless. They will bring some start from 1990, 2000. I don't even know that year. They will bring and back up and tell me Abraham overall play is better than Giroud. I was like, what are you guys smoking? that one entirely pissed me off because I keep saying it. Abraham should be selling pop-off in Africa, not playing football, because that guy doesn't look like a footballer to me at all.
Listen,
doesn't even look like a footballer to me. Let
me just provide some perspective, because sometimes rival fans look at us as being like a sport club who don't appreciate what we have. Yasir Saeed in Red Devil Studio. I just need an honest answer when I ask this. Do you guys remember when Januzaj was the best player at United and how much of a problem that was?
Januzaj was never a good player at United.
Januzaj was never a good player at United.
No, 2013. I think
there was a period of time where Januzaj was United's best player.
Yeah, it was sometime in 2013.
Are we talking about Mount? Which one are we talking? Are we talking about Mount or Giroud?
No. I'm going to talk about both, but I'm going to start with Mount because I haven't spoken. That period when Januzaj, however long it was, whether it was like 2 weeks or whether it was 2 months, for that period of time, Manchester United were able to point out that was a problem. The fact that a player so young could be seen as their best player highlighted the issues that were wrong with the club, because they had all that quality, but
what season?
It was a big deal. I remember it.
Yes, I remember. It was 2013. It was that
year. I know you've been a United fan for a very long time. Don't try to play revisionist.
I think was it under Van Gaal? Is he under Van Gaal or under David Moyes?
Manager before Van Gaal.
So that same season, Falcao, Di Maria, who is this? And Daley Blind.
It was no. You guys had Chevrolet. You guys had the Chevy sign.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Yeah, finish up. Chevy sign on your jersey. It was that season, and then Wilton. Picture a scenario or hypothesize a scenario where Vinicius is Real Madrid's best player. Doesn't that speak to there being problems at the club?
Whoa, that's a side relax. He's not a best player. Relax.
There being problems at Real Madrid?
Yes, of course.
Mr. Barker, hypothesize a situation where Trincao or Puig is the best player at Barcelona. Wouldn't that speak to the problems at the club?
Do you know that is like one of my major things with Barca right now? Because you are right. Because in my head, I'm like, why is Pedri? I love Pedri so much. Don't get me wrong. That guy is, but why is he so important to this? Like to what Barca is doing right now. So from that perspective, I get what you're saying right now. I get what you mean by I get.
There's nothing wrong with Mason Mount being excellent. As a Chelsea fan, I want him to be incredible. But the problem is, given the amount of talent that we've acquired and the amount of money that we spent in the transfer market,
he shouldn't be your best player.
He should not be the best player.
It makes sense.
Or maybe you should have scouted better. Mate, that's the thing. You say you shouldn't be a better, but like you spend all that money, you're right. So the case in point, Atletico Madrid, you had Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech on the bench, yet you still managed to beat this Atletico Madrid side.
A huge part of the problem was because Lampard, and as much as I love him as a player, as a manager, he was deluded in building the team around Mason Mount. Whether he did it knowingly or unknowingly, he did it. And that's why we're in the position
that's what Tuchel's doing, though. That's what Tuchel's doing.
No.
Building his team around Mount.
See, this is the problem. This is what the issue is. He's not building the team around Mason. Mason Mount is playing. I keep saying he's playing. He's the better player at this moment and in form at the moment ahead of Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech. If those two are in form, I can tell you 100% he's not playing.
But any manager isn't going to say, right, I've got one player that's in form. I'm going to now bring in this player who's not been in form. It's up to the player that's out of form to prove.
Exactly. That's exactly where.
Yeah, but this is Lampard were playing whether he was doing well or not.
I agree. But I'm saying, looking at Tuchel now, why I've seen him playing, and why I've seen likes of Ziyech and Havertz when they've come into the team, they've not done anything to say, "Oh wow, we put
that is what my point is going to. They have not done anything to exploit them out of the team.
Tuchel will naturally say, "I've got my starter, whether you like it or not, and I expect Mason Mount to start against United." And then it's up to Ziyech and Havertz and Pulisic, who to be frank, are not first team, to prove to Tuchel how they can fit into this team. Because right now they're not.
But Red Devil, I mean, just to go back to something that Marvelous has said, which I feel like is a very important point. Because Marvelous pointed out that this team that took over was built on a vision that Lampard had. And Lampard, there's a lot of questionable things that Lampard has done where, like, in terms of his transfers and everything, is like, it really...
Yeah, but we were told that he wasn't in control of his transfers, though.
No, Red Devil. See, this is where the issue is.
No, he signed players.
No, this is where the issue is. If Lampard was coming in, if Frank was coming in like with 5 years or 6 years experience, no one is gonna have an argument with that because they will know, okay, he has an experience, it can be massively trusted. Lampard is coming with no experience. People may say Derby County. I don't count Derby County as an experience because it went from 6th to 6th. That is a failure for me. From 6th position back to 6th.
It didn't improve
that is a failure. So from the very first moment he was hired, I said it. Most of us was hype. Lampard is the manager. I was like, from that very first moment, I already said it out. It's a failure.
And that is
because Roman bringing him in was already set him off to fail. You can't bring a manager in.
Yeah, so that's my point. So that's on Roman. That's on your transfer policy. Like, this is what I keep saying, and I criticized the United board for this as well. Is that yes, you're right. Was Lampard a good enough manager? No, I
no.
That. However, he's also on your board, and also on to a lesser certain extent the players, but certainly on your Roman and whatever her name is, who recruits the players in. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that Lampard wants to sign all of those players, because I know that that lady she signs players sometimes that people don't.
The funny part, out of all the players that was been signed this year, only one player was Lampard signing. That was Ben Chilwell.
Yeah,
and he's not playing.
And he's not even playing.
And he's not playing, because Ben Chilwell's bought as a left back.
No, Timo Werner was
plays.
Timo wasn't. Timo Kai Havertz was the bot signing. It wasn't Lampard signing. It was only Ben Chilwell that was Lampard signing.
I can't believe
it was the board signing. It was the board.
I can't believe that that you sign 8 players, that one single manager wants to sign 8 players, and then you at the same time you're like, clearly if he's playing Mount and certain players a lot, it's because he wants those players. So if that's the case, it doesn't then make sense to say, oh, but I also want to sign 8 players. That doesn't make sense. Clearly signings.
But this is where the issue, because if this is where the issue is, like, in terms of where, as a fan, this is where we need to understand. I am not angry if Lampard is coming in as an experienced manager. Where my problem is as a fan is, he's been coming into this job with a huge pressure. Himself, he knows that taking this Chelsea job was a huge, big project for him and big pressure. He played under Jose. He played under Carlo Ancelotti. He played under so many world-class managers. He's experienced enough to understand, oh, if I make mistake, I'm gonna be like being the talk of the town. So before you make a decision, you got to think, okay, what kind of decision do I make that's gonna be like beneficial to the team or beneficial to me? Roman is not gonna sit down there and be like, okay, Lampard, continue. If you fail, I will support you. No, it won't. If the result doesn't go well and things collapse, it's getting booted out. After the Arsenal match, and that was when I said it's gonna go. Because I knew then.
Abdullah, we don't have to go over spilled milk again because I get it because he's gone, so there's no point. So
I think the problem was that when the board brought him out, I don't think they knew what they wanted to do yet. And I don't think they were ever planning on keeping him past this season. I think they were just probably looking for a time to get rid of him just because.
Yeah, I think guys,
look at this. No, but look at guys. Looking at Chelsea transfer window last summer, someone should be sacked for that. Chelsea spent £200 million, and the areas that they needed desperately in terms of attack, they spent a lot of money on the attack, and they needed a striker and they needed a creative player, and they spent $200 million, and then they still now have the same problem they had a year ago: a striker and a creative player. That's a big problem. Like the fact that Chelsea now has to spend a lot more money again to find a striker or a creative player, that someone should be sacked for that. Because like I understand if it was the choice, if it was the board's choice to sign Werner and Havertz, then goes, in my opinion, that goes against everything that Chelsea used to do. Because when Chelsea used to have every manager Chelsea had, they literally bought players that the manager wanted. Mourinho wanted Costa, they bought him that. Mourinho wanted Fabregas, they bought him Fabregas. Mourinho wanted he wanted also Pedro.
Right, so, speak to you guys later, okay? See you later.
Okay. So the thing is, even look at Sarri. Even Sarri wanted players. They bought him players. They bought Jorginho. Jorginho was a Sarri player, and so the fact that Lampard couldn't tell the board, guys, this is what I want to do. This is the project I want, and this is the players I want, and they said no, and they bought their own players. That just
Said. Lampard. In what you said, I will little bit be 10 over 100 about it, because Lampard cannot go to Omarena and the board and tell them, I want Declan Rice and Tarkowski. It's gonna get sacked tomorrow morning. Declan Rice and Tarkowski is getting sacked tomorrow morning. You cannot tell me Tarkowski is better than Zuma. No. Better than Rudiger. No. Better than Christensen. No. For me, no. Tarkowski, no. Declan Rice is under than something million. The board can't spend that money. You want to tell me Declan Rice is better than N'Golo Kante? No. That's hell no. Hell no. It's not possible.
But then they should.
So you can't tell me that kind of transfer is going to work in Chelsea Football Club. It won't work, because the brothers are not even interested in buying that kind of player. They are not.
Abdullahi, let me ask you a simple question. Other than maybe the goalkeeper, maybe and Thiago Silva, would Chelsea be better or worse off with the signings they have made? Would have made a major big difference? Did the signings make a huge difference? That's my question to you guys, to all Chelsea fans.
Yes, I wouldn't say it has made a huge difference, because this year has been ups and down in terms of the managerial issue. Even since Lampard took over, it's been off today, on tomorrow, off today, on tomorrow. It's been like that. It's not because if Tuchel was the manager from day one, and we in this position at this, I can reevaluate the whole entire season. But it came in after half of the season, around January and towards February. I can't evaluate the season until the season finished towards next summer. That is when I want to evaluate Tuchel. At this moment, I'm not evaluating, because it's way too early for me to evaluate him. He hasn't done much for me to say, okay, I want to give him this pass, I want to give him the fail. He hasn't done much for me yet.
Because I understand that, but then Oh yeah, go ahead,
My
Marcus. Go
answer
ahead.
to that question is
Oh, go. Either
we.
or, it doesn't matter.
My answer to that
I
question is we do
think
not know because under Lampard there were many a game. I can think to the Southampton game and to the Sheffield game, and maybe 2 or 3 games plus that where the signings that we made saved us. So say whatever you want about Werner, but that Southampton game where we drew 3-3 with them, without Werner, we lose that game under Lampard. The game against Sheffield, without Ziyech putting out the masterclass that he did under Lampard, we lose that game. I mean, when I say the game against Sheffield, I mean the 4-1 when Lampard was our manager. Without Ziyech playing in that game, we lose. Because if you match those results with the results in the season prior, where we were transfer banned, Lampard lost 3-0 to Sheffield. And I think he also lost to Southampton. So I'm not saying our signings have hit the ground running. What I am saying is, and similar to what HH said, under Lampard, there were many instances where it was just the class of those players that we signed. Even off form, they were able to just do something to help us win the game. You know, now with Tuchel, the hope is that with his coaching expertise, he can sort of help them build some sort of form to where we can see the best of them. But 100%, I think it was necessary that we sign these players. Could we have existed without them? Of course. But we would have lost a lot more games. I know for a fact we would have lost that Southampton game. We would have lost that Sheffield game.
Under
You know, we
Lampard
may have
or
even lost that Tottenham.
Under Lampard. I think also
Under
the problem
Lampard.
the problem too is that like you bring in 8 players and you expect the manager's complete inexperience. He's not going to be able to embed in 8 new players. So the question of if like the signings have been good is like they've been saying, you can't really answer that yet because they haven't had a chance to be given actual direction. Because if you look at, you can't even see when they were put under Lampard. You could tell that after a while, the players didn't even know what the hell they were doing. They were kind of just passing it around trying to figure out what the like. If you look, especially like the Leicester game, especially that second half, the players were literally passing the ball and keeping Leicester, and they're like, "What does he?" What you could tell they were thinking in their head. What does this man want us to do with this ball? What are we trying to get at? What is the point of our tactics right now? So I think that after the season's over, because Tuchel's only been in for. So I think after the season's over, you have a better chance to answer that question.
So guys, yeah, exactly. So guys,
No, I'm like NK was about to say something. Go ahead.
yeah, I want to do something, but just MK, go for it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry. With regards to Yasser Saeed's the transfer thing, I see where you're coming from, but I think the board's plan now. I'm acting like I'm a member of the board. I'm not, but I think the board's plan was more of a long term project, as the board was responsible for Kai Havertz. I'm under the impression, from what I've seen on articles, that Lampard wanted Werner, Ziyech, and Chilwell, and a new goalkeeper. But Kai Havertz was the board. Well, I think the board are going more for a long-term thing, in the sense that they want Havertz, and they got him. They want Haaland. That is optimistic. But I think they're building towards the future where this team could be set for the next 5 or 6 years. So with regards to the transfers, maybe not so much now, but towards the future, the team is set in terms of where it could go. With Kai Havertz, there's a player with lots of potential there. Whereas my thing is, I want to speak on the Mason Mount thing. Chelsea fans can't tell me that Mason Mount is a bad player. I refuse to believe it. I believe Mason Mount is a good player. Yes, I don't believe he should be our best player. That is also true. But I'm seeing this guy get slander and a hate from. I don't understand. Like, this guy has been, whether you like it or not, has been one of our best players this season, especially over the past month.
Yes,
month
100%. Yes.
That's the problem.
He has.
That's what the problem
as much
is.
as people don't want to say it, people need to give him the plaudits he deserves. The team needs to step up. That's 100% true. But with regards to Mason Mount, this guy deserves more respect. You can't ask for more than what he's doing in terms of, yes, he's limited. He's still a young player, but this guy on certain games has got us points. So
Yeah,
that's my stance on Mason Mount.
exactly.
Giroud, Giroud, with I think it was Red Devil Studio. Giroud,
Hmm.
hey, listen, Giroud is an underrated striker. That's everyone knows that.
For
Giroud's
me,
very, he's
underrated
might
striker
even be
in world football for
underappreciated, but
me.
that's because
Hmm.
Timo Werner was signed. Timo Werner was signed to
Vilton, what's
replace
an
Giroud.
agenda?
Timo Werner should have been Chelsea's first, you know what I mean, first choice striker. He
Hmm.
should be the first choice striker, but he's an essential brick. So Giroud stepped in, and again, the team's looking nice. But Yasser Saeed, you're right in terms of the transfers, especially recently. They haven't lived up to the. You could even argue the transfers is part of the reason why Frank Lampard got sacked. But it just is what it is. They have to step up if we want to finish top four, and I
No,
believe they will with time. So
Let's
stance.
move on. I don't want to talk about Lampard. Is gone. Is out. Is done. Bye
listen.
bye. It's done. It's done.
No, no,
It's done.
listen.
Lampard is done. He
Abdullah,
can
let me
come
finish.
back in the next. He can come back in the next 15 years. But at the moment, it's done. I don't want to even hear about him anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
okay.
done. Lampard, bye bye. I am not hating you, but at this moment, Chelsea Football Club doesn't benefit you. Just go. Bye bye. Take a
Yeah,
nap. Take a
Are
sabbatical.
you guys aware? Are you guys aware of what came out in the press yesterday? That he said he wouldn't be as eager to take the Celtic job because he wishes to recharge and just reevaluate a lot of his tactics and how he wants to approach football as a manager.
no, he said that.
I
Yeah,
refuse. I refuse to
look it
believe that.
up. You can look
If
it
he
up
said
right
that,
now.
I am inducting Lampard. If he said that,
No, no,
I
no,
am
no.
inducting him.
That's the right thing. That's the right thing, and that's what he ought to have done before he took the Chelsea job.
Is
That's
perfect
one
example.
perfect thing for him to do. Because as Chelsea fans, we would have loved for Lampard to have been our most successful manager. But
Hmm.
the
And
decision
guys, and
just
guys,
seemed
and
too
that
rushed. I
and
mean,
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off. Sorry to cut you off. That's my exact thing with Xavi. You know the Barca thingy now. The elections coming, so like people think a lot of Barca fans think that oh once Xavi comes, you know everything. I'm glad he's gaining experience at El Assad or El what's the name of that
Is it Saudi Arabia or
yeah,
something like
Saudi
that?
Arabia, but you can obviously the quality. Okay, fine. As a
level of
manager,
play.
is able to test his tactics, how he wants to approach the game. You know, manageable. But at the same time, I just feel like probably maybe just do it in a more, you know, I wouldn't say more competitive league, but I won't trust that level of football they play in Saudi Arabia. Yes, he would learn how to like work with people, you know, like he would learn so, but I mean, in terms of his tactics, so I won't really, you know, just because he was a great player, you know, he's a Barca legend and everything. Like a lot of Barca fans seem to think that oh, once Xavi comes, it's going to be like um yeah, I don't know if you guys get it's going to be like oh, this is like Pep 2.0, you
Quick
know,
fix,
tiki
like a
taka,
quick
everything. Like
fix.
I do, yeah, exactly. That will not. I don't even think that will even do Xavi any good. He needs to still learn how to. So yes, you
Exactly.
guys are right.
Exactly.
Lampard should not have taken that
Job
Chelsea job
early. It was a
immediately.
failure
Yeah,
from day
he
one.
should
From
not
day
have.
one.
He should not have. He should have. Yeah, yeah, you're right. He should not have taken that job. That was a very wrong decision on his part.
Even Mr. Baka, even John Terry, the club captain, rejected the job
Rejected the job.
immediately.
Yeah, I read about
Immediately.
it. I saw it. Yeah.
Immediately. Without even telling, he said, no. Chelsea is a big project, it's bigger than me. I have less experience in taking the job. I would love to come back after 5 years to become Chelsea Football Club manager. Then I have the maximum experience needed to take
Yes.
over the job. Now
Abdullah,
tell me, what
I look.
brain does Terry have that Lampard doesn't have?
True.
yeah,
Look at Gerard. When Gerard eventually comes, so
Comes
because
to
I still believe Gerard is going to be a future
Liverpool manager, yeah.
Liverpool manager. When he now comes to Liverpool, look how bad or how dangerous it's going to be because he has enough experience. You know, he would have won a lot of things with Rangers and everything. So
Rangers.
yeah, so that's just
and
Margaret.
this is another perspective that being a Chelsea fan, I still have to be objective. I feel like the board at some point we would have to have a discussion as to how they kind of either hindered the success of Lampard or they enabled him to fail. Because knowing Roman had to know he knows himself. He knows that he's
Mm-hmm.
impulsive. He knows that he hires and fires. The board know themselves. They know that they sign targets that maybe the manager doesn't want, but Roman wants. They know that
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when a manager wants a certain target, they give them the B option or the C option. So if they were committed to Lampard as they claimed, they should have given him more time. For example, when Klopp first came to Liverpool, they had a few seasons where they finished seventh, sixth, fifth. Then they went fourth, second, first. If
Wait,
Chelsea
wait.
were really committed to the Lampard project, they should have given him time to just fail 100%. But like
But,
Abdullah
but
said, that's not the culture of the club. And that's why I said the board kind of set him up to fail. Like the board made
The
the
board,
mistake.
but
The board
from
marvelous.
the
made the
but from
mistake.
but from
The
the
board
board.
did not set him up to fail. It was Roman that hired Lampard because I keep saying this thing. Roman knows that this man doesn't have the experience, and you give him the job because when
That's
you
the
give him the
board
job and tell Lampard come and take
telling
over,
him
you're telling
to
him
fail.
you are taking over the job to
From
fail.
Lampard's
sorry,
exactly
who just spoke? Who just spoke?
Marvelous, marvelous.
Marvelous.
no,
Sorry,
Abdullah just said
marvelous.
something. Yeah, go ahead.
No, marvelous. From what you said, you see, I think you said that Klopp, yeah, they gave Klopp time that he finished seventh, sixth, and fifth, yeah, before you know.
Klopp has experience.
No. Apart from the experience, you can at least you can see the
Trajectory.
progression there. Yeah, you
Yes.
can see the trajectory. From I'm trying to think from a Chelsea board point of view. We spent like we didn't spend any money. We didn't do anything. You were able to steady the ship. You finished fourth. Yeah, Chelsea finished fourth. Now we've given you money with more backing, more whatever, more this. At least the least you can do, like them. If they had not sacked him, like with the way Chelsea was going, Chelsea would not even have made Europa. Could arguably not. So from that point of view, you have to just think that are we going to give? But you are right still because they knew the situation they were going into, so they could have just given him more time. But at the same time, more time could be detrimental to the club in terms of now we have spent 200 million euros. We're in a COVID season, pandemic season. We're not making much money as we used to. We need to compete for this elite. Do you get
Yeah,
the
I
point
got
I'm
you.
trying to say? Yeah. So
I 100% agree
Let me
with
ask you
you.
a question,
And
Marcus.
that's
Let me ask
why,
you a question, bro.
yeah, you have to ask, but I got to finish the point. Ask.
Yeah. No. I was just wanted to ask you, do you and every Chelsea fan, do you guys believe that when Lampard got sacked or that conversation happened that, hey man, it's time for us to part ways, whatever that meeting they had with him, do you believe he was given reassurance that he will be considered in the future as a Chelsea manager?
I don't think
I
so
think so. No, I think so.
because
I think so.
I'm
I
going to
think so.
answer why. I think so, but
I
I'm going to
don't.
tell you to
Okay.
finish with Mr. Barker. I only made that point because of what you had said about Xavi, because I was going to
Oh,
tie
okay.
it up by saying when we take everything into consideration, the Lampard hire came across as a sentimental hire. Because if you
Yeah,
guys remember how split our fan base was after Sorry,
yeah.
that was when you saw proper Chelsea fans start poking their heads out and saying, F sorry ball. They don't want Italian managers anymore. How about we go somewhere progressive? How about we look to hiring a former player? And I think the board, in a rush to sort of just like heal and patch up what was starting to crack, they just brought Lampard as the one man fix all, one man solve all. And the fact that he was able to overachieve, you see, I always give Lampard his props. The fact that he was able to overachieve in the COVID season when he finished fourth, the board were like, wow, even though we made a sentimental hire, it seems like it's going in the right direction.
It's
Because
going.
I
It's
always say
working.
this,
Marvelous.
if Lampard finished seventh in that COVID season, or if he finished outside of the top four, they would have let him go at the end of that season. But when he finished fourth, they were like, wow, so maybe he is the right guy for the job. It was kind of deceiving in a way.
Marvelous. I gotta say something about that. I think this might be unpopular, but I don't think even the first season. I don't think they were that good, to be honest. And I think part of the reason they even got fourth was the fact that if you look at the average points, I think he got like something like 67 points. That's probably
66.
like 66. That's probably one of like the lowest like points to get like fourth place in probably like the last 5 years. Arsenal were completely like dead in the water. They finished like 10th. Leicester literally choked the second half of the season. And Tottenham were doing, I don't know, they were going up they were just like off somewhere in no man's land. And if you look at the amount of points he was getting this season, it was on a similar trajectory. Technically, like the record was similar. Like I remember, like the right before he got sacked, like a couple of games, he was at like 29, 27 points, and even the season before, they only had like 29. So the record was about the same. So I think last year he was able to kind of flatter to receive because all the other teams were weaker. And you remember how like in the beginning of the season, like all the teams were like for some reason evenly split. So I think just the increased competition was what really did it. Was what really put the nail in the coffin for him, pretty much.
There was a super chat here. He said Lampard inherited a far better team than Klopp did when he came to Liverpool. Lampard inherited Conte, Giroud, Kovacic, Willian. Klopp inherited Benteke, Lovren, and Joe Allen. That is a fair point because when Lampard came in, these players were there.
That's not true, guys. That's being disingenuous. Because Klopp.
No. When Lampard came in, this player Lampard inherited was the same Lampard with the same player that played under Mauricio Sarri that won the Europa League.
That is true.
This player was the one that won the Europa League. So we can't.
But yes,
and they
Klopp,
finished third.
Lampard inherited.
And they finished third.
Lampard inherited a better team than Klopp did. I agree because who did Klopp have?
He had Coutinho
when he came.
He had Coutinho.
Come on, continue.
No. I'm just telling you who he had. I'm just telling you.
Klopp had Sacco in defense. Imagine Lampard with Sacco in defense.
I think that's the part that came in said we are using academic players that haven't played in unfit played before, and unfit Conte and how two best players this season before in Cho and Ruben were both injured, giving him credit. Really?
There's a problem justified.
He also said Conte wasn't available all season. Guys, was injured all the time. Give Lampard his credit. I already gave Lampard his credit. I gave him his credit.
It's almost as if Chelsea fans are a lot of Chelsea fans are unable to be objective because we've been spoiled so much. If you look at our winning, like our trophy cabinet, I think we have like an absurd record of like 17 trophies in like 18 years since Roman came. So we're such a sport fan base that anytime a Chelsea fan comes out and says something objective, people kind of like start pulling out their pitchforks and wanting to attack them. We just gave Lampard his credit for overachieving in the first season. But it's obvious, like Mr. Barker pointed out, that in the second season, things were going downhill. And not only were they going downhill, they were going downhill fast. So where if that sacking hadn't happened, we would not stand a fair chance against Atletico. And I just want to say really quick, Abdullah, even though this is your channel, I would employ everyone watching right now, viewing it on YouTube, watching this broadcast on YouTube. If you want to ask Abdullah a question that you want him to answer immediately, hit that super chat. Even if it's $1, $2, $5, $10, $20, $1,000, because I know you guys are rich. Use that super chat button, put in that dollar amount, and send him that question, and he will answer it. We will answer it. Support Abdullah.
Support guys, support like David guy. So like what this
I have to go.
Okay.
It was nice doing this with you guys. Peace.
Peace. Thanks. Mo, like what you saying, I gave Lampard this credit. Not that I didn't give him this credit. This is where the problem is. Proper Chelsea fans were coming at me when I said Lampard wasn't the right manager for Chelsea Football Club. I didn't say he's not gonna be the manager in the next 5 or 10 years because I know he has that experience to come back and manage a top club and become a better manager. But the time he came in was way too early for him to become a manager because we know who runs Chelsea Football Club, Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich is the one who won Chelsea Football Club. And I know the board. We know the board so well that if you don't follow what they want, you're getting out of the door entirely. We know. So being a Chelsea fan, I already know the core and the structure of the club I'm supporting. It wasn't that we just know the core right now. The core has been there 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. We know Chelsea Football Club from day one. So this happening now isn't a surprise because it's been happening long time. So Papa Joseph are coming at me and calling me a racist word. That kind of surprised me because I'm being factual about my point being him not being a better manager because he has that he doesn't have that experience of a top class manager or world class manager. People were comparing him to Klopp and Guardiola. There's a difference between Klopp. Klopp was a champion in Borussia Dortmund and Pep Guardiola was a champion in Bayern Munich and Barcelona. There's a massive difference. Klopp has a philosophy. Can someone tell me what philosophy does Frank Lampard has? Cross and inshallah. Is that philosophy? That doesn't work in modern football anymore. It doesn't. So you can't just come in and tell me he has this philosophy. Philosophy doesn't work until everybody see this man has a philosophy. He has this, he has that. Then we can give him his props and credit for that. So we need to be objective when we say stuff that Lampard wasn't given the credit he deserved. No, he was given this credit, the credit it deserves as a manager. So we just have to as a Chelsea fans, be objective in whatever he wants to say. We don't need to be biased or sentimental in everything we want to say. It's making mistake. Some dumb, stupid, and ridiculous mistake a manager should not be making. He's making it. It's clear. It's what we can see. It's making mistake. So when we make mistake, we have the opinion of talking out and saying, Lampard, why are you making rookie mistake? We know you are a rookie, but must you be making this mistake? And at a top class club, you played under Ose, you played under Ancelotti, one of the arguably the best manager in world football, and you are making this kind of class A mistake. So why? So if people don't say we give him his credit, but Lampard is making mistake in which we can see, we can correct. Him as a manager can correct it. There's a problem. There is. So we give him his credit he deserves. The credit he's been given, he deserves it. But when he's making mistake, we have to question, man, you can't be making. Lampard literally play Mason Mount in the wing when you have Odoi at the bench. Now tell me, what is that logic or the scenario of that? Is it a philosophy or is it a system? That's what I need to know. When people say we don't give him his credit, he's playing Mason Mount in the wing and he's telling us Mason Mount can offer the what I'm offering. Can Odoi not offer what you want? Tell me, can't he? So we need to be very objective in whatever we say. He was not ready for the job. We know he was not ready, but why did he take the job? That's my question. Why? So do anybody want to have anything to say or to chip in before we just go to the next topic? Because I've ranted about Lampard. Yeah, you don't tire me. Do anyone have something to say?
I don't hate Lampard. He's between him and Drogba, it always changes. Some days it's him that's my favorite Chelsea player of all time. Some days it's Drogba. So if anything, I'm not, if anything, I would be the one that should be biased, but I'm not because I would have loved for him to succeed. And Abdullah, you made the point of, do we think, oh, Yasser asked. I think yes, I believe so because the attachment that Lampard bears and carries in regards to Chelsea is very strong to where I feel if he went to another club, say a Celtic, and then another club after that, say like a mid-table Premier League team, and he succeeds and he overachieves, I believe the board will reinstigate contact and start to try to negotiate and bring him back. But I think they would have learned that they have to do it when it's right. It has to make sense. He has to build up his experience. He has to be able to manage egos in a dressing room. He has to prove it beyond reasonable doubt to where we're like, okay, this is a step in the right direction. You know? So Chelsea fans love Lampard. He's a true blue. Chelsea fans love Mount, but we have to be objective in our opinions because the moment you stop being objective as a fan with your expectations is when you end up in a situation where Arsenal are. Arsenal could lose 20 games in a row and when they win one games, do you see how deluded their fans get on Twitter? You do not want to get to that point as a fan base. Trust me.
Somebody asked a question. Why do Chelsea fans have all these names for their farms? Proper Chelsea fans, complicated show. Man, I am complicated because I'm objective. I'm either. See, this is where the issue is. If I'm not complicated, I'm not gonna be objective in terms of the way I analyze things. If a manager is making a mistake, we have to criticize him. Players also get criticism. Everybody get criticism if they're not doing the right thing. So that makes us the fan because we can aggressively see what is going on wrong in the pitch. We can see it. If a manager who's telling us he has a philosophy, he has a tactics, can't see what we as a fan see on the pitch, there's a big problem. That will not work well. That was the problem Lampard was having because he has that experience of playing under so many managers. Now implement those playing style into your system as a manager is difficult because he's making dumb mistake. He doesn't need to make. He's making it. He doesn't need to make that mistake, but he keep making those dumb mistake. So that's where the problem is, and that's where the issue is at the moment. So I want to talk about something very, very, very interesting. Guys, I saw the news today, and that news gave me goosebumps in my body. If that's what's gonna happen, oh, I'm so happy. I am so happy. Chelsea want to buy Erling Haaland, and Tammy Abraham wants to leave Chelsea Football Club if Haaland is being signed to Chelsea Football Club. And I believe Olivier Giroud will either stay or will either renew his contract. But end of the season, we kind of judge where Olivier Giroud contract is. At the moment, Tammy Abraham has decided not to renew his contract anymore. He wants to get the hell out of Chelsea Football Club. SK, give me your thoughts.
So when it comes to Tammy Abraham, I've never really been a big believer in Tammy Abraham. I never he's kind of weird because he's the kind of player that he'll come up big in the most random moments, but he's never really a player that I felt that Chelsea can rely on. And I think if they do end up buying Haaland, although I don't really think that's going to be likely this year, if they do end up buying Haaland, then it would make sense for him to leave because Haaland is literally the peak of what his archetype of striker could reach. And obviously he's not in Haaland, and even at his best, I don't think he'd ever be that. So it would make sense for him to leave for his development. I still think he has a lot of potential, but I think that Chelsea are going back to the old philosophy of buying, players. Because if you ask yourself what Chelsea at their peak, from 2004 to 2010, would the board at that time have waited for a player like Abraham to get good? No. If they this is the same board that went out and bought a player like Shevchenko after Didier Drogba that had his best season ever. So I think Roman is trying to go back to that kind of philosophy. So I think that it doesn't really players like Abraham don't really have a place in that. So that's my thoughts.
Vilton, your take on Abraham decided not to renew his contract. He wants to leave. If Erling Haaland comes in and Olivier Giroud possibly either staying or leaving, but Olivier Giroud's decision will be made end of the season. Either he wants to stay or he wants to go at the end of the season. Because the news I'm hearing, he might probably stay one more year, renew his contract for one more year. But Tammy Abraham is 100% leaving Chelsea Football Club. If Chelsea sign Erling Haaland, he has decided that no. I'm not renewing my contract anymore. I want to leave.
Yeah, it would if Chelsea were to sign Haaland this summer, somehow, I would leave too, family. I'm not gonna get any PT at all. The only way I would stay from Abraham if I'm making the amount of money that Messi is making at Barcelona, I wouldn't mind me on that bench.
What? No. I don't even rate Abraham as a Chelsea fan. You're gonna tell me you're gonna be making trillions of money in Chelsea Football Club? Hell no.
No, listen, Abdullah, I didn't say he is. I'm saying the only way I would stay and get benched at Chelsea if I'm making the same money as Messi's making at Barcelona. If you're making that much money, you don't care if you will play or not. I swear you don't. If it was me, to be honest with you, just like with Alexis Sanchez and Manchester United, you saw how much money they were paying him. You think Alexis Sanchez
the piano master.
They didn't care. Like, if I'm Madison, I wouldn't care either. I'm making so much money. Just like with Ozil and Arsenal. He didn't care. He's making money even though he's not playing. That's all. At the end of the day, it's a business. But yeah, if you, Abraham, Haaland comes, you have to go. Because unless you wouldn't mind being the third striker, unless you wouldn't mind being there and be a third striker, but you have to go to another club and fight for first dip on the starting team, because if you stay at Chelsea and Haaland's definitely gonna start, and Giroud is gonna be the backup striker for, since he's a veteran. I'm guessing he's gonna be there as a backup just in case Haaland gets injured or something. And Werner most likely gonna start as a winger and Pulisic. So what's going on with Pulisic and Werner? Are those a backup of each other, or I'm confused?
I don't know what's gonna happen with Pulisic.
Okay, but anyway, back to Haaland. Yeah, Abraham is definitely leaving if because Haaland is literally one of the best number 9 right now in the world. Because when you think of number 9, there's really not that many great number 9 in the world right now. The only one I would say are Loa, Benzema, Haaland, maybe Suarez is doing on form right now. Jesus is okay. He did score yesterday, but he's okay. Aguero hasn't been fit. Kane, I wouldn't say Kane is a pure number 9. I would say he's more of a. Obviously, he wears the number 10, but he plays more like a playmaker / striker that can score goals too, because he's Spurs top scorer this season, and I don't know if he is, but I know he's second for sure, and he has the most assists for Spurs. So he's a playmaker and a striker. I wouldn't say he's a pure number 9 like a Suarez, like a Lewandowski, like a Haaland. Benzema too. I would say Benzema is like Kane in a way, because Benzema play makes a lot. Benzema is a top assist this season, and he's a top scorer this season. So based on pure number 9, yeah, Haaland is definitely top 5 or top 3 in the world, or even top 2 in the world. If you're gonna put him above Lewandowski, in your opinion. But yeah, if Haaland goes to Chelsea, Abraham, you kick rocks unless you don't mind being on the bench. If Haaland goes, bro, like the way this guy is playing, I'm sure Haaland's gonna be the first starting. He's gonna start every game unless he's not injured, unless they're resting him. But Abraham, you bound, because you can't sell Giroud unless Giroud wants to leave, because Giroud is clutch. Like
the problem is the Giroud is gonna be decided end of the season.
Because if you're able to resign Giroud, I would resign him, because there's really no need to let him go. If you get like a Haaland this summer. And Abraham, let's say Abraham decides to say that's 3 striker. There's no need to let Giroud go unless Giroud is asking for a ridiculous amount of money. But Giroud has proven again, like he's a useful striker. He really is. He's clutch. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Like, but I do believe that I don't think Chelsea's gonna get Haaland this summer though. But at the same time, that I was reading reports that Abramovich is planning to spend a lot of money again this summer.
Yeah, he said
where the hell are you guys getting all this money from?
Chill. My sugar daddy has big money. Chill, man.
Chelsea haven't really spent money like that in the last transfer window.
And you guys always make fun of City and PSG for having oil money. Like
Roman has money. Roman has money.
Roman
has money. He has money.
You guys have spent $300 million.
No, Chelsea have oil money. Man City and PSG have like human slavery money. So it's a bit.
I didn't say that, Man City fan. I did not say that. SKFC said that. No, what I'm saying is that because usually when a team spend over like 200-300 million in a summer window, they don't spend next summer. But they might spend, but not close to that. But I hear Chelsea's planning to spend 100, 200.
We're spending. I think 300 is being given out to Tuchel this year, based on the report.
So yeah, so that money.
Based on the report I'm hearing, so we're going for a central back and a striker.
You guys could loan us, give us at least 200, bro, so we can get an Mbappe at least, bro. Like Chelsea.
And we're not giving it 200. Who do we get in Madrid if you're giving it 200? Who do we get?
No, you loan us 200 million. Abramovich.
We can't loan you money. Sorry, we can't. We're not a bank. We're not a bank. Chelsea Football Club is not a bank. No, we're not a bank.
That's my 2 cents on Haaland.
Did you just say loan?
Yeah, I said loan.
Wait. I don't mean Wilton. You know what's premiering on ESPN today, right?
What?
In regards to Real Madrid? Let me look it up so I get the title right, because you know I always love to come with the facts. Because you're talking about borrowing Real Madrid 200 million. Meanwhile, let me just look this up. Give me a second.
What are you talking about, Marvelous?
No, listen. Just listen.
No, I'm curious too. I want to do my research on this.
Galacticos, the ESPN documentary on Real Madrid, premieres 24th, which is today, February, on ESPN. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for this documentary, but it's a video of Florentino Perez in his office getting makeup applied on his face while he brags about how much money Real Madrid have and how the lavish parties, all the lavish parties they threw for Ronaldo.
Bro, I was saying it as a joke, bro.
How he didn't even sign Beckham for footballing. He just signed him for the brand, even though he kind of regrets it. How he's so ashamed that the Galacticos, when they had Makalele, when they had Graveston.
I was saying that as a joke, but obviously, bro,
It does sound like a joke, bro.
Real
Madrid got cash.
Bro, Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world, bro. I just wanted to see your reaction, but Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. But what I had to say to the Galactico, people that always make fun of the Galactico for never winning one Champions League. The Galactico wasn't a good team. It was a good team on paper, but it wasn't a great team. Like, the team didn't function well. Roberto Carlos used to say they didn't take football as serious as they did because they had so much talent in them. They used to party before practice.
Put us to the left. Line us all to the left and load up your Google and pull up this trailer. Let us see the type of lavishness that these Los Blancos people are experiencing on a day-to-day basis. They have a see-through sky bridge. You want me to send it to your DMs?
Yeah, so I'll go pull it out of the guys.
Oh yeah, Abdullah, Nasa say respect Pep in the live chat.
Nasa, I already respect Pep. I already said it here. He's arguably the best manager the world would have. So it's okay. I respect Pep already. I do. But Nasa, if Pep got in with the Champions League, we need to have a conversation about that. We need to have a serious conversation about that. If he doesn't win that UCL, I'm respecting him now. But if he doesn't win that UCL, serious conversation needs to be added to Pep Guardiola's issues in Manchester City. Should I call it voodoo or should I call it a problem? What should I call it? He has to win that UCL. He has to. So let me come to Said now.
Right now.
Oh, okay. Said, Abraham leaving and then Haaland coming. What are you saying, bro?
Here's a problem, guys. When will Chelsea Football Club learn?
Learn from what?
Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Salah. I mean, you guys just let go of players, and you guys just always try to buy
Robin.
Now, so and the problem is, I feel bad for Tommy, bro, because I every time Tommy wanted to become Chelsea's main striker, is you guys bought Werner. Now you guys are gonna buy Haaland. It's like
it's not good enough. It's not good enough to be Chelsea number 9. That's it. That's it.
But that's the problem. That's the thing you guys said about Lukaku. That's the thing.
No. See, this is Lukaku for me. What Lukaku then it was kind of young. Then people were saying it wasn't that good enough to be Chelsea, but he has the right manager to improve him. He will become a very better. Look at Lukaku now under Antonio Conte. That is a perfect fit for him because that's the manager who wants to improve a player, and he has improved Romelu Lukaku for so many years. Like, he has massively improved on his first touch, the way he controls ball, the way he bull out defenders. Lukaku has improved. And also, Abraham for me can't be the number 9 in Chelsea because he needs to learn a lot. Abraham needs to have like 10 years experience before he could become a world-class player. He needs to learn a lot. His positioning is poor. So many things is poor in Abraham that when you look at Abraham, I just shake my head that, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why? We have a fullback. We have a right back. There's Reece James. There's Ben Chilwell who cross ball to a striker. Tammy Abraham cannot head the ball. Cannot even trouble goalkeeper. And you tell me to trust Abraham as a number 9? No.
Okay, Abdullahi, let me ask you a question then.
Mm-hmm.
Say you sign Haaland, you let go of Tommy. How long is Haaland going to stay at Chelsea?
It depends on what the board promises. I can see him staying 3 or 4 years. It depending. And then depending on the manager we have. If Tuchel stay a long time, Haaland could stay 4 or 5 years. It depending. It depends on the project, the success the team built around, and also it depends on the manager and what the Chelsea board promised him. Depend.
Abdullahi Haaland.
It depends.
His agent is Mino Raiola.
We know Mino Raiola. We know what is Mino Raiola.
Wait. This guy Haaland guarantee will not stay at any club for more than 3 years. He won't stay.
Yeah. Because the reason we're spending that money is to sell him out. So we know the reason we're buying him to sell him out. So we know there's a sell-on price on him. So we know anybody who's ready to buy him, bring the money Chelsea request. Chelsea said maybe in 2-3 years time, Allah become a world-class manager, is winning Ballon d'Or and everything. Chelsea may request 350 million, 300. If you're ready to pay the money, bring the money out. That's it. It's simple. It's simple.
So my thing is, here's my thing, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I feel like it might be a mistake to let Tommy go, because I feel like Tommy has not been given, and I think the only time he has been given the keys to be Chelsea's number 9 has been under Lampard's first season. And maybe I think also this season, Lampard played Werner up top. He played. He didn't play Tommy. So I don't know. I see a play in Tommy. That's for me personally. I see a play in Tommy, and I feel like Tommy is one of those players that if you can he needs confidence. That means if you play him, build a team around him.
Wait. Build the team around who? No. Around who?
Tommy.
No. I disagree. No. Don't. Tammy Abraham. No.
Yes.
No. I disagree. No.
Bro. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think like if you have Tammy Abraham and you tell him, okay, we're gonna play to his strength and build the team around him.
What is Tammy Abraham's strength? What is his strength that we need to build a team around him? What is his strength?
He's good at playing. He's good at playing 1-2 around the box. He's not a bad player, Abdullahi. You're making it seem like he's a brick.
Yeah, but he's not. Don't say he's a bad player. He's just not.
Yeah, no, Abdullahi's making it seem like he's a brick.
It's not. I didn't say he's a bad player. As a Chelsea Football Club, there's a levels. It cannot be the number 9 in Chelsea Football Club because there's levels. It can't be. There's levels to it. It cannot be.
Abdullahi, that's the same thing. That's the same thing Chelsea fans have said about De Bruyne. Let
me make a comparison. No.
More Mourinho.
No. Said, let me make a comparison to you. See, when we had Drogba, there was Nicolas Anelka, there was Andrei Shevchenko. Those 2 strikers did not surpass Drogba because Drogba was arguably the best strikers in Chelsea. Drogba proved not to even Roman, to everybody in the world that yes, I can be this number 1 for a very long time. Abraham hasn't proved anything to me yet, neither to the fans.
Also, what I would say to the whole Abraham thing is KDB is a bit different because that was more Mourinho that chose Oscar over KDB because Oscar had a better way than the Chelsea board being like we don't want KDB, and obviously Mourinho just came back, so they're more liable to listen to what he has to say. And the problem with Abraham is that he's not a bad player, but like I said earlier, the Chelsea board have decided they're going to go back to their old way of doing things. And as I said, as Adelaide just brought up, they were bringing in strikers for competition for Didier Drogba, and Drogba to prove that he was better than them. Is Abraham as good as Drogba? No. Abraham gonna be able to prove that he's a better player than Timo Werner?
No.
Is he gonna be able to prove that he's a better player than Haaland?
No.
If they don't get those 2 players and they bring in somebody like is he even a better player than Alexander Isak? Maybe not. So my point is that it's not about him being bad, but for the caliber of striker that they're looking for or that they're trying to reclaim, because arguably Chelsea haven't really been the title team that they've been used to for like 2016. For the caliber that they want, he's just not going to be good enough, and I think he's probably recognized that early. So he's probably why he wants to leave.
But then the thing is, this is what I'm very confused. This is where I get very confused with Chelsea because that means Chelsea hasn't changed. The notion of this new Chelsea.
The only reason they even played is because they had a transfer ban, And that's part of the reason why Frank Lampard came in, which is why I was even like saying, which is why I said earlier, I don't think they were ever planning on keeping him long term when they started spending $200 million again. If it wasn't for that transfer ban, Lampard probably wouldn't have been manager. And
look, you know, you know, if you think about all the talent that Chelsea just let go, and then all the talent they've got is insane. You even have the player that plays for Bayern Munich, the 17-year-old. He was at Chelsea. That's the problem with Chelsea. Chelsea you guys have so much players with so much talent, and you guys just gift them away to other teams.
Yeah, but the other thing too is Bayern Munich have the luxury of embedding new players because they're the best team in their league by a mile.
It's like the amount of money these guys Chelsea could save, but actually implementing their youth into their first team is crazy. But they just let players go.
I agree with you too.
We're in the Premier League.
It's a lot easier. It's easier to embed in young players if your team is at a certain level above other teams. Think about it this way: Man City embedded in Phil Foden. Why? Because their team is already better than everybody else's to a point where if Phil Foden fails, they're not relying on Phil Foden to be the best player on their team. Phil Foden's a baller, and he's embedded, and he's been a great player because he's in an environment where there's no pressure for him to be either great
Look at Bukayo Saka.
Exactly. Look, Arsenal are like literally relying on him having good games, and that's not healthy for a young player. If the player doesn't have like a Messi potential, like Ronaldo potential, or just a tier below that, you relying on young players is not going to make them better faster. That's what I'm trying to say. And Chelsea aren't in a position more to where they can embed them in and be like, okay, because Chelsea's aim is to win titles, and I think we kind of forgotten that because they've been failing to do that for a while. But my point is that if their aim is to do that, they don't have time to embed players, huh?
But then, okay, if that's the case,
no, I mean like recently, like
guys, if that's the case, and you guys saying that if Tommy is not a number 9, and that's saying that means like you will never cut it off, then that means like you might as well just sell all the youth you have now. They might as well just sell Hassan Odoi. They might as well sign.
No, Said. This is where we're making mistakes, Said. Guys, one after the other. Let me come to my belly before I come to my. Let me just respond to Said with this. This is where the issue is. People rate Tammy Abraham the way they rate Didier Drogba. There's a levels to that. Didier Drogba has shown, not even to Chelsea, for Marcel, that is a top class central forward. He came to Chelsea. Roma wanted to buy different player, but Mourinho said no. I want Drogba. Drogba was given to him, and Drogba proved to the whole world, yes, I am a reliable number 9. I can show it. Drogba arguably take Chelsea to a next level for 15 to 20 years. He's been our main man. So many players has been bought besides Drogba, but all of them flop. Why? Because Drogba is better than them. He keeps showing it every year that I am a better number 9 than these players. So Abraham is not showing anything to convince fans and say yes, no. It's not showing me this. I can have Abraham as a number 9, and I have Giroud on the bench. I know Giroud. When he comes in, he pop in and score. Giroud has positioning. He can score goal with his head. He has the best attribute as a central forward. Abraham doesn't have anything. He doesn't.
Abraham's a squad player. Abraham's a squad player.
I don't know, guys. I feel like you're giving up on a talent way too easily. I mean,
it's not giving up on a talent. See, if Abraham goes to Aston Villa, maybe Southampton, he can thrive in those teams because they have no pressure of winning Premier League, winning Champions League. Their pressure is to finishing maybe top 7, top 8. That is their pressure. Chelsea Football Club wants to win the Premier League and the Champions League. Abraham can only go to that success. I'm sorry, he can't.
Abdullahi,
Academy is just to bring into that academy and put them into the first team, not for them to start into the team.
Let me tell you a fact. You remember when Harry Redknapp had that moment with Lampard? You know the press conference where Harry Redknapp was like, "This is what this is my moment." In my opinion, as a Chelsea fan, from what I've seen, the best player in our academy who has a chance to become world class is Billy Gilmore. Full stop.
Sorry?
It's not even Mason Mount. It's Billy Gilmore.
How
It's
about
Hudson
Jamal
Odoi.
Salah?
It's Billy Gilmore. Because my thing with Hudson Odoi is that I feel like his mentality and just his overall body language,
I
I don't
agree.
think he will succeed at Chelsea. I think at some point Chelsea will move on from Hudson Odoi. But I think Billy Gilmore
That's a
has
sad shame.
a great
That's a sad shame.
chance. I think Billy Gilmore has an incredible chance.
But then
So how do you envision his career going then? Because that means one of the midfielders would have to go, surely.
I think Jorginho will leave.
Huh?
I think
Yeah,
Yes.
Jorginho will leave. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
I
there's
can
been
see
reports.
Sarri. I
There's
can
been
see Sarri
reports.
becoming a manager.
Go for it, my fellas. Go for it. Let's
There's been
guys. Let's just hear
reports
my
that,
fellas. Go.
that Chelsea will look to either offload Jorginho this season or next season. But my thing is, it may not be this season. It will probably be next season because I think this season, Jovicic, they're doing amazingly well together. I think Tuchel will move to keep Jorginho. But ultimately, when
Okay.
teams start to figure out how Tuchel's playing, Jorginho will start to get exposed once again, and it will open the door for Billy Gilmore to become more involved. Because
Okay,
Billy
so
Gilmore just a lot more class. He just oozes a lot more perception. He's a calmer head. Because he's smaller and he knows that he can be as physical, he makes up for it by being more aware. In my opinion, he's our most aware player from the academy in a footballing sense. When you watch him play, he's always looking over his shoulder. Reece James, positionally, players run in behind him all the time because he relies on the fact that he's big and he has pace. So he feels like he can always make up for it. Mason Mount, players could be to his left and to his right. He would still shoot as if he doesn't see them. Hudson Odoi, I don't know what it is. Sometimes I feel like some of these balls that he gives up on, if he runs with his pace, he can get them. So that's just like a body language, him not wanting to push himself. Billy Gilmore, on the other hand, he's already small, so he might be at a disadvantage. He doesn't appear to be quick, but before he gets the ball, he's already thinking of what he's gonna do next. He's like a metronome. If anyone here makes music, he
I
just
understand
keeps
that.
things going.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about Tammy Abraham and Eden Haaland. Before you speak, MK, I just want my fellas to speak about that. I'll come to you.
With
Despite the news we are hearing, how are you
here's the
impressed
thing.
with Abraham leaving, or would you rather Olivier Giroud sign a contract then?
I hope no one interprets this the wrong way, but usually when I speak to other Chelsea fans concerning Abraham, Chelsea fans that want us to keep him, they typically bring up what he did at Swansea. They bring up what he did at Villa. They bring up what he did at clubs that he was at loan at.
Bristol City.
And they always never mention the fact that these clubs were at a lower division, at a totally different level of play.
But Marvelous, even when he's playing for you guys, there's been games where this guy has saved you guys, bro. Where
but you can't look at it like that. You see, I feel like that's a mistake a lot of
Well,
footballing fans make.
There were
They say,
games
"Oh,
where. Oh,
they
sorry.
say, oh, Abraham saved us. Without Tammy, we would not have won this game." How do we know that Giroud in those same situations does not score those goals? You know, because, for example, the game against Tottenham, when we drew 0-0 at the start of the game, at the start of the season with Lampard, I guarantee you with Giroud, with those crosses that Rich James was pinging in, we're winning that game. You know, so my thing with Tammy is this. He just strikes me as if he's okay being number 2 or potentially being number 3.
No,
fine.
he has turned down. No, he has turned down the contract. He wants
because
to leave.
he wants to be the guy. Ideally for him, he wants to be the first choice striker. But
He
the
cannot.
thing is, you can't, because with the displays that you're showing, with the output, the performances that you're giving out, it doesn't warrant you being the first choice striker. This is a thing that we always ignore. Tammy Abraham could get 5 games in a row, make 1 mistake, and still get like 3 more games. Giroud could play 1 game and make 1 mistake and not play. So Tammy Abraham gets a lot more chances. It's only right that if he gets like 10 passes, 10 clear-cut opportunities, and he scores 1, and then Giroud gets 3 clear-cut opportunities and scores 0, it makes Tammy look like the better striker. He just doesn't cut it for me. I feel like he just does not cut it. And I don't think at a top club he will be able to hack it. I feel like if he were to go to a West Ham, he would look really good. If he were to go to a Everton, he would look really good. You know, like the way Abdullahi feels about the reason why I'm not saying anything like concrete because it's like Tammy Abraham. There's really nothing to say about Tammy Abraham. These things have been said 1,000 times over. He needs to improve if he wants that starting striking position. Because if you play 10 games and you don't do anything that makes people go like, wow, you really deserve to be a striker, and Giroud comes in and plays 2 games and outperforms you in your 10 games, then you're really lacking behind and you have to pick it up.
But Marvelous, let's be honest though. Chelsea you got really created chances for your striker. Even a goal that Giroud scored the other day, the guy, it was a deflection came and then Giroud had to improvise and hence he scored a bicycle kick. You guys
let me ask that question. That's simple question you ask.
You know a dynamic you could bring to your channel when someone asks a question like that, no matter who it is, you could just push us all to the left, go on YouTube and load up a Tammy Abraham miss compilation so we can see these chances that he has squandered. And then you tell me whether an average striker would not be putting those in the back of the net or getting them on target. Because there's a lot of instances where he miss kicks a lot. That's something that a lot of rival fans don't notice. He either miss kicks or the ball bounces off of him like he's made of fucking foam. Like, I don't know. The ball just pings off of him. Like, what's going on? In the words of Abdullahi, I don't get it, man. I don't understand.
No, Marvelous. This sounds like exactly what people used to hate on the block for. Tim Boots, the guy cannot.
No, but here's the difference.
Hate on who?
Wait. Here's the difference.
Hate on who? Who are they hating on?
This is the same thing people used to say about Lukaku.
No, but yes,
Lukaku is different because.
Okay.
Let SK finish up. Go for it.
Lukaku scored 17 goals for West Brom the season before he went to Everton. He scored like 10 goals the season before that. So he already had concrete evidence that he knew what he was doing, which Abraham doesn't have. Because even the season, how many goals did he score last year? Like 11?
15 goals, 15.
In how many games? Because it's not like overall.
He scored 15 Premier League goals, and he scored 3 Champions League goals.
15 Premier League goals.
Yeah.
Now, consider and who look at the kind of strikers Chelsea went out to buy. Timo Werner, I know he's been
how many Premier League goals Giroud had last season? How many Premier League goals?
That's not a bad return. 15 goals.
No one's saying
check how many Giroud.
But no one's saying it's a bad return. But I mean, Tammy Abraham is on the level of someone like a Danny Ings. That's like his level pretty much. And would Danny Ings start for Chelsea?
But then Danny Ings is 29.
But I'm saying that's the level I think Abraham's gonna get to. Like that's like
I don't know, guys. I see a lot of growth.
Sorry,
I see a lot of potential.
Yes. You see where the issue is. I don't hate on Abraham. But when I bring this up every day, everybody call me haters, everybody call me this, everybody call me that. I will say it again. If Victor Osimhen is playing for Chelsea Football Club, it will be a better number 9 than Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham is just a show off in Chelsea Football Club. That's what I can say. People call me hater because they said I love Osimhen a lot. If Osimhen is playing for Chelsea Football Club, I know what I'm getting for that guy.
Tammy Abraham is compared to Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. So if you want to make a comparison, we have to make good comparison about Tammy. Yeah, I can understand, but
did Wilton leave or is Wilton still here?
No, Wilton said he leaves already. So for me, we just have to we're not hating on Abraham, but the reality thing about it is Abraham doesn't warrant.
Abraham's a number 2. That's just the bottom line, really.
Somebody said when Tammy Abraham plays, we play literally with 10 men. He said it already. We play with 10 men.
His hold-up play is so bad. The ball literally ricochets off.
This is a problem with Chelsea fans. You have no patience whatsoever with players.
We can't have a patience with Tammy Abraham because Chelsea is a level club. Said, this is where the issue is.
That's
Chelsea
the vibe.
has a level.
You remember what Benzema said to Mendy?
Yeah. He
That's
said this guy.
exactly what that's exactly what it feels like when we're watching Tammy when he tries to hold up the ball and the opposition just
Okay,
get it. It
marvelous,
feels like he's playing against us.
marvelous, and Abdullahi. When this guy Tammy Abraham scores a hat trick, and when he plays, I don't want to hear none of this. I don't want to hear, oh, he could do better.
Yes,
I don't want to hear
he's
none of
not.
this.
He's not.
Bro,
Trust
come
me.
on, guys.
That's
I
just
feel like
one
you guys
game,
being
though. That's
extremely
just
harsh
one
on this
game.
guy.
He's not gonna score a hat trick.
Said, you're talking about that Atletico match. Thank God you brought it up. Thank God you brought it up. That goal that Giroud scored, I can put my money. Abraham will not score that goal. I can guarantee you that he's not scoring that goal. He doesn't have that precision, that brain of scoring the goal Olivier Giroud scored at Atletico Madrid. Abraham is not scoring that.
Hey, listen,
He's not.
Tammy Abraham. Listen,
He's not.
Tammy
All right, guys.
Abraham
I'm
is a
man.
number 2 or number.
No worries.
All right, guys. Have a good night, guys.
So has everybody spoken
Honestly,
about
get to a
Tammy?
number 1
Because I
striker,
just want
but
us
he's
to
not
round up
good.
this topic
I
about
don't
Tammy.
think he's better than Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Fair enough. Because I think Ancelotti
Yeah,
has
look,
improved
he's a number
Calvert-Lewin a
2 or
lot.
number 3.
I think for me, Ancelotti has improved what's called
He's a nice striker.
Calvert-Lewin a
He's
lot.
not bad, but I'm not.
Yeah, but he plays for Everton for a reason.
Exactly.
He's not
So
better than
for me,
Calvert-Lewin.
I think for me
He's
that's
not better than Calvert-Lewin.
mostly
I'm not
what
saying Calvert-Lewin's a top striker, but that's
is
the
a better
right.
for me. Is a better striker than Tammy Abraham for me though. So guys, I think that is it for us today. Just want to talk about the Champions League duo and some transfer rumors. Also, we'll do a preview possibly tomorrow or Friday about the EPL coming up in the weekend. We're gonna talk about Manchester United and Chelsea and the rest of the matches coming up. And also possibly because I'm trying to do a video about the flashback about the Champions League flashback to 2009 Barcelona flashback, our reaction to that match. So I'll find a date in which we can kind of just talk about our flashback and everything, how our feelings about it. I will say my brothers and you guys gonna say yours. So you guys I will let you guys know when we're gonna do that. And so guys, not really much to talk about today, just about the Champions League draws and everything. That's basically it. So guys, like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel. It will massively help this channel a lot. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys for coming up today. Really appreciate you guys. So see you guys next week or possibly this weekend for the preview. Peace, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace.
Peace.
All right, a bit. Stay safe.
Peace.